And that's that. Well, thank you. Thank you, Zoom.
Yeah.
Get ready.
All righty. So, we will open tonight's tale with the morning after the long fight with the Underworlder. As you all are waking up, the sun shining, bathing through that magnificent suite that you have, the silk kind of draping from the walls that line like around the bedposts. You know, most of your stuff scattered around, where if this was clearly a suite of adventurers where all of your things are kind of just haphazardly to wherever they were from the night before. What do we find everyone doing here in the morning, except for Yagos, who is still not there?
Zunis is kind of sitting. There's like a bench in front of the one of the beds, and he is trying to sort of fasten this ring that he obtained from Hulk Hercules with the letter H on it, it was like a gift given to him. He's kind of putting it in my leather outfit where near my gills. It's kind of where I keep all my little trinkets and things that I found. So I'm just kind of fastening that onto my coat.
Nice. Yeah, Zior is chilling, like kind of just like looking out at the city and just kind of taking in. This is like early morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's just taking in the sunset or sunrise, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And just, and really just kind of focusing on what is ahead of us, understanding that, like, what we did last night with Hulklees.
You're welcome to call him Hulk.
I know, right? Like Hulk. I want to say Hercules so bad. So bad.
Hercules, yeah, my bad.
But yeah, just understanding that, like, what we did last night was really more like a bit of a warm up for what we are about to step into. And so just trying to really kind of get in touch with Nylea, but also just enjoying the view.
And Torin is still kind of recounting the battle in his mind and prepping all his gear. So he's polishing his armor, kind of cleaning it, setting it all straight, sharpening his blades, putting new feathers, and he's like refletching his arrows so that he's ready to go for the quest that he knows is coming, and basically just keeping himself primed and ready for battle.
Awesome. So as we see those three, just at that moment, the front, the double doors at the end of the hall open, and you hear the the staggering of footsteps as Yagos enters.
I am back.
Where the hell have you been?
Well, I started out going to different vendors, trying out the different treats that they had amongst the various vendors. I found myself eating and drinking with some of my own, some other Lagos, and ended up going on a large drinking binge with them. Kind of partied with some other folks. As the time went on, I hadn't really gotten a feeling that it was time to go yet until a fight broke out, of which I was not involved, but I suddenly became uninterested in the group anymore. And now I am back.
Yeah, man, we could smell you. Smell you like
A
couple
mile
steps
away,
down.
yeah.
Damn.
You might want to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to freshen up a little bit, bro?
I could go for a good brushing as well. Any volunteers?
How do centaurs
Now you are a Lagos, or you are a Lagon? You're a Lagos, or centaur? Because there's two types, right? You're the
Lagona. Was it Lagona? And
I think you're. I thought the Lagona were the ones who were more like kind of work with like civilizations and humans, and there was one that's more of like the raiders or the bandits. I can look it up, but I was just wondering because I heard you say
yeah,
Lagos.
that is it.
You're from the raiders side, or you're from the traders, the barterers?
I'm actually a mix of both.
Okay. Are you making that up, or is that?
I remember that. Yeah.
Are you?
I remember writing that in. It was my parents are a pseudo Romeo and Juliet love story.
Okay.
That's right. I do remember that. That's right.
Okay.
You're in the middle.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm
so
kind of
gets along in the middle. That makes sense. Okay. I was just making sure as I heard that, making sure I kind of knew it. Okay.
Absolutely.
So then he probably would have talked to the Lagona then, because the Lagos would have been destroying. Well, I guess maybe they were like Lagos who were like who somehow got into the city. Maybe that's why they started such a ruckus.
Well, yeah, the what's name has always been in Militus though. As I was reading the Raiders aren't associated with being in the city too often.
Yeah. Okay. So the party is all back together, kind of shooting the shit with each other and deciding how they'll decide, what to do next.
So Zior welcomes Yagos back with open arms, and after Yagos gives us his tales and stories in the last couple of days, Zior basically addresses the group and says, "All right, how do we want to approach Orestro? What do y'all think?"
Do you know the? I mean, I don't know the way personally. Is there anyone that could direct us or assist us in this journey?
Yeah, I wonder if Othanos knows where the Custonos River is and could potentially help us in that feat.
If you guys don't, just to give you a recollection, you're welcome to invite Othanos or to get some further information from him. But Kia did give you. She actually wrote a brief map of where to go, so you guys have some tracking. And I do apologize. I did look it up. It's not you're right. The Lagos or the Lagona. The ferries are the bandits. Those are bandit-based centaurs. They're very barbaric and they're nomadic. Which they would never be allowed inside of Militus. Just
Zero, I apologize. I almost like someone was speaking into my head. I believe we do have a map leading the way.
Yeah.
Now the map doesn't lead directly to Orestes, like the tomb, but it leads to the general area. It leads to the Custonos River, so you don't have to worry about where the river is. You know what I'm saying? If you know the 3 days, you can track that out. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think we should use the map, but I also think it would be worth us at minimum having a chat with Othanos before we left and potentially inviting him along to see if he has an appetite for this adventure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Any extra heads with insight would make sense.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Do it.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, Thanos is at one of the tavern, right? The something horn.
I think
Yeah, down
near
by
the
the
dock.
down by the docks.
Yeah. Shall we mosey on down?
Yeah, let's go.
That sounds good to me.
As you all are packing your things up and heading down the stairs, going through that open foyer area of the hotel, you see the gentleman, man from behind the counter. I hope you all had a wonderful rest for your evening. Yes, he's always behind the counter, a bit creepy. I don't know if anyone responds to him, but he just kind of waves. When you get outside, the sun hits you. Torin walks right into, just boom, bumps into almost chest to chest, and they're standing in front of you, wearing a tattered yellow frock of a shirt. And with a hood on it, and he has the hood fully hooded up, but you can tell by the mustache it is Hulk. And he goes, now being that you guys, were saved his job and helped him, goes Torin, goes out to kind of clap hands with you, and does Torin go for it with him? They kind of lock arms.
He does. Torin does to the best of his ability, but unfortunately for him, he's still a little starstruck around Hulk. So he grasps his arm, but misses slightly, and it's just a slightly awkward exchange. But he does clasp it, warmly.
Yeah.
He says, "It's very good. It's very good to see you again, my friend. I'm glad that we were able to." Help and work together.
Yeah, so that's
I will always be a fan. Always.
Baby oil glistening tanned arm and that Leonin furred, striped like the Pride Lands, grab each other's arms, and he's like, "You son of a bitch," just Predator style, like that moment. And he goes, "Come on, you could be stronger than that." He kind of shakes his arm for a little bit, tell you to kind of toughen up, kind of giving you a shake as though you were arm wrestling, which I think instinctively the Leon in you starts to exert some strength back.
Absolutely.
But he appreciates.
Absolutely. In fact, that snaps me out of my reverie, and I catch myself growling. I'm a little taken aback because no one typically addresses me this way and is that physical with me. So my natural instinct is to growl slightly, but then I catch myself and I nod. Yes, Hulk.
So he says,
"Well met.
Good seeing you, brother, and all of you. I really appreciate what you did for me. The fans are going to be going crazy tonight when we kick things off again." He says, "But I want to let you know, I didn't want to be. I feel like I'm fans of you alls now, but I don't want to be all in your face. I know you got a lot to do. But unfortunately, now that I'm going back on the, getting back out there, going to be, showing those guns again, brother. I don't have my outfit that I was supposed to have tonight." And he kind of goes into this really basic short story about how this woman, Dora's Wares, was putting together this fantastical outfit for him. But she never got it done in time because right now what's going on, what's starting this month, you guys are right at the top of the month, is Thrambion. The days of every month are about 29 to 30 days, and the average week is 6 days. So it's 6 days a week, and so that's how the weeks work in this world. And so Thrambion is basically May, and this is the kickoff in Akros, where everyone, you can start to notice a lot of the streets when you first got in town were bustling, like merchants and things, and a lot of people have left, and there's large caravans exiting the city because everyone's heading up for the beginning of the Acroian games that are going on in Akros. This is the city that is closer to like the Spartans. a very militarized city, and this is where a lot of worship is paid to Heliod and to Iroas, the bovine-bodied god of victory. And so, he says, she went up there to go make some money, brother, and I don't have my outfit. So he's like, I'm gonna have to just make do with what I got. But if you're ever in Akros, no rush, no worry. Would you check in with Dora and see if she's got my shit?
If we head in that direction, Hulk.
No worries. If you don't,
I would be more than happy to.
Thank you. And so he goes, he pays you 25. He puts 25 gold in Torin's hand. He says, another 25 if you bring that back for me.
We got you, Hercules.
Yeah, no rush. I'll make do. And then he goes, well, he kind of says his goodbyes and points his finger guns and does his poses, and he's off. And then suddenly he realizes people starting to see him. He's like, well, I gotta go, because the kids start running over. Ah! He starts kind of walking away, and one of the kids walks over and looks, and it happens to be the little boy from Night 4. And instead of running to Hulk Hercules, he runs up to Torin and like jumps on like your leg, gives you a big hug on your upper thigh. Says, hey Torin, hey Ziorn, he kind of waves to everybody. Thanks for saving my life. And he smiles. He shows where one of his tooths are missing from the underworld and knocking the shit out of him. Because remember, the underworld literally power drive this kid. Like he literally tombstone the kid.
Like stole his
Torin
innocence.
despite himself, grins and like tussles his hair. You little rascal.
Yeah. And so he runs off too, and you all begin to head down to the docks. After some, finagling, trying to find your way, you find the. I actually forgot what the name of the place was. Do you have that, Zunis? The name of the bar? If not, I could find it later. But
I think it's called the
Antlers?
the Thirsty Horn or something.
Thirsty
like
Horn.
That.
Okay. So as you approach the Thirsty Horn, the sign's a little rugged and almost disheveled. You can't even see the full, I think that says Thirsty Horn. And it's almost like a wooden little shack of a hall. Not like your traditional medieval tavern, but more like square, kind of vaulted ceilings. There's a couple of wooden base pillars that are painted and kind of crude decorations, like painted and not anything beautiful like what you're used to from where you were staying farther in. There's a lot more people walking around on the street, kind of excuse me. One guy walks by just smelling like fish, just kept like fish on his breath, fish on his body. And as you walk into the hall, a little bit of no music's playing, no bards, no lutes or anything like that, but just kind of somber fishermen, who are sitting there eating their morning grub. And at the moment, no sign of Othanos. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, if you guys just go ahead and take a seat. There's a kind of scruffy older man walks out and goes, looking for the little breakfast and breakfast and ale.
Yeah, I'll have a little.
Well
something.
met.
Always good to get the yeast, get the wheat in you early, so you can work through the rest of the day or pass out before 12.
Sure, like that wheat.
Thanks for
Very
breakfast.
well. Yes, I will also have a breakfast wheat. I'm sorry, your name is, sir?
Yeah, and so he goes, give me a second. Briscoe's the name. He goes, and I just make sure everybody's happy here in the morning. So take a seat, and but I'll be honest, I would ask your name, but I really don't care. It's just like walks away.
That's all right.
Wow.
Are you serving us, Bristol, or is someone else serving us today?
I'll be serving you. The server girl's out today, so you'll just have to watch my ass as I walk away. And then he just...
Oh no.
I'm sure I won't, but thank you.
And Torin calls out, have you seen a gentleman by the name of Othanos?
oh, and as he's doing his little switch, his little walk, like as switch around, he goes, yeah, he's in here usually around middle of the day, 12ish. He's or I don't know, might, unless he's on a mission, unless he's out to sea. I might let me check around and let me ask and see if he's going to be around today.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you, Bristol.
As you guys sit down, you guys are kind of sitting there. He eventually brings around these plates of kind of dry, stale bread, a decanter of this kind of ale, and then one single kind of whole cooked fish for you all. It's very meager. No grapes or fruit or bountiful. It's just kind of like, that's it. It's not plated very well. Kind of looks like the chef kind of slapped one of the fish heads is kind of hanging halfway off the plate, and he's like, there you go, there you go, there you go. And he goes, that'll be just one copper piece, which you all have, and
Wow.
or it's like maybe three or four copper pieces, something like that, each of you. And he goes, so yeah, looks like Othanos is around, and I was asking one of the guys out back, and he said he's gonna send word. He usually stays close by, so hopefully he'll come over. Otherwise, you might have to come back a little later. But I told him that you're here, and told him to go tell him you're here now. What business do you have with him?
We go way back.
And
Yeah, we've traveled on the high seas with him a time or two.
oh, you're those deadbeats that you traveled like around just up the little way. I'm joking. I actually heard you guys are pretty. Heard there was some. Heard you got into it with the Returned. Heard you all handled yourself pretty well.
It's a good save there, Bristol.
Yeah.
And you best remember that.
Yeah.
But
Zior just kind of
don't start no
puts
trouble here. I just like to talk a little shit, man. Calm down, cool it.
Yeah, Zior puts his paw on Zunus's chest as like it's okay, just like simmer.
The see,
Skills are-
both Leonins
skills are
got
starting to flare.
more manners than this guy. And then as he disrespects the Leonin right there, he's just like...
And Zior says, "Don't let the politeness fool you, playboy."
It's like,
Yeah, Torin growls again. Torin just growls so that it's audible enough for Bristol to hear, but says not another word.
Yeah. He gets a bit, he could tell that one kind of puckered up. He's kind of like, he got a little tense walking away. And so as you guys are sitting there eating, the food is edible. And is there anything else you guys are sharing as you're having your meal?
Yeah, this is...
Well, first Torin grabs a big fish head and just swallows it. He just starts to choke it down and doesn't really have the wherewithal to speak well.
There was only one fish.
No. One fish for each of you.
There were fish heads.
I'm sorry.
Where's the rest of the
I heard head.
Each plate had a whole fish, a medium-sized fish, and then a small loaf of bread and some ale for you all to share. Like he put some wooden cups on the table and kind of went back to working.
Sorry.
Torin did try to grab Zunus's fish though, because he was still hungry. But Apparently that was not a good idea.
So in through the halls, walks.
Isn't that like cannibalism?
Is what?
Oh no, never mind. Wrong
What?
species. Wrong species.
Me?
Oh, with him. Well, fish eat each other. They are
He's calling you
cannibals.
out, Fishman.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm half human. You're not even here. Yeah, you are. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're rusty,
So-
man. We're like,
We look a mess right now.
I'm
We look
sorry.
a damn
Like-
mess.
Just a
I'm
little.
sorry, Yagos. This gets kind of a weird thing. Like, I'll be honest with you. It's kind of weird. I feel kind of weird about it, but I feel like they're like, I don't know. I'm kind of half human.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm
Well, I
mostly
heard
human.
somebody else say that fish do eat other fish, and I guess
Right.
everything under the sea pretty much consumes itself at some point in time.
I hope not.
Torin just looks over at Yagos and says that that's a little racist, man. And they just use it.
And that's all
Also,
good. It's all good, Yagos. I'll eat a little bit of the fish. It's all good.
Zior quickly finishes his fish and looks at Yagos. If I'm not mistaken, Yagos, you're a vegetarian, correct?
Nah.
No? I'm pretty sure in episode 1 you was all about the fruits and veggies, bruh.
Yeah.
well, if you're
So-
gonna be picky about eating it, then I will. And suddenly, someone digs their grubby hands through Zunis's piece of his fish and just stuffs some in his mouth, and licks his fingers, and as you look up Zunis, it's Othanos. And he just
Oh, nice.
kind of smiles and like slaps him on the back. He took like a little piece, like a big chunk of the meat, and he goes,
Good
"So
to see you, Thanos.
I heard you boys called for me."
Yes, we
Pulls up a chair.
We are in need of your expertise and potentially your sword.
You caught me at a good time. Well, if you want my sword, you've caught me at a bad time. I just took a job, and I'm heading out into the Siren Sea.
You're heading to the Siren Sea.
Yeah, a small little island down the way. Shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 days, more than a day or two on the water till we get there. We've got a sending or a message spell was sent to one of my superiors that there's there's a group of stranded sailors out there, and so we're gonna go try to help them. But I mean, I got to get paid, right? So instead of just scrawling, going up and looking for pirates back and forth like I've been doing, at least this one sounds like an adventure.
Torin looks to Zior and Zunis and says, our next, our current quest, is it along the coast, perchance? Is this something that he can meet us at after he's completed his task, so that we still have his aid should we need it?
Are you boys looking to hire some? Sounds like you're looking to hire some muscle.
Yeah, potentially, but I think we also want to be a little bit intentional about the muscle that we're hiring.
Are you saying you don't trust the guys that I would provide?
No, not at all. What I'm saying is that we have the most experience with you. You know what you bring to the table, and we appreciate what you've done for us thus far, giving us opportunities to make some coin, and we have a pretty big mission ahead of us, and we want to do that mission with people we know we can trust. and we feel that you're one of those people.
I appreciate you making me feel that you feel that way, and I feel the same. But we haven't talked about what's most important. How much does it pay?
I recently came into a little bit of coin, and I would be willing to share a portion of that with you, for your time and for your services and for your expertise. I wouldn't dare spend money of my comrades here, um, but potentially we could work something out as a.
Do you like the arena?
Excuse me?
I was just asking if you like the arena.
The arena. Tomorrow's arena. As you're talking about, I assume you're speaking of.
Yeah, I mean, I have this ticket here that could fetch for a pretty coin. It's worth it for a year's worth of entry into the arena. You can take this, sell it. I'm sure you can get well over 100 gold for this.
My son really loves the game. Those games. Not quite my cup of tea. I think his favorite one is that, like, something that
Hulk Hercules.
He's not over him. He likes the one, the ultimate Acroan. He guy's clearly not Acroan. He clearly was born here in Melitus. Always rolling around. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Just way too much. Way over the top. Got wearing these bands. He cut off his circulation. It's ridiculous.
Well, hey, be the father of the year. Give your son this ticket.
You're asking me. The job that I just got is worth 500 gold coins to me, and I've just assembled a crew. You're asking me to say no to my proprietor, to my patron, and to just quit. That's such a dishonorable thing to do in my profession. And you have to remember, I am a warrior, a sailor. What would I be doing traveling on the land with you all? You get the feeling that he's giving you a lot of pushback. He does have, like, his job is paying him pretty well. So I will want someone to take the face here and give me some persuasion. Zunis has already started it, but
I mean, to be honest,
I think I've got persuasion still.
I mean,
but,
I
let me
love to join them in the Siren Sea. Like, you all notice, like, my eyes are kind of like coming out of my face. I'm like, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, but like, I'll go with you. Look, I have that.
You have that look, yeah. And he
loud, said, but I'm like, fuck, Siren Sea, I need this.
Can you give me a charisma check? I want to see. This is not to persuade him. I want to see if he's picking up on those vibes from you.
Yeah, I mean, Zior definitely picked up on that. Like,
yeah. I know you guys can. I'm seeing at the end.
You're talking about
those. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Just him, right?
Yeah, just him.
Okay.
No, it doesn't work from there. I got you.
No worries.
We got it.
Actually, mine is really bad. I was wrong. My charisma is awful.
I'm pretty sure mine is pretty bad too.
Damn, that's a 4.
I thought I was tripping. This fool's beard and mustache.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that the mustache was fake. That's his Zunis mustache.
Good. It looks good.
It's that good that most people don't know it.
It actually looks really good, man. I was gonna compliment you on.
I always imagine, like, I don't know if I'm wrong. I imagine that Zunis is like kind of has that kind of like Spanish, like, look to him, but like he's like has like a pale blue color,
like Zorro in this motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
That's why I picked the miniature. I know you made him look more like a Shrike.
Yes, I would. Trust me.
Now, is your miniature? Is he bald, or is he?
Yeah, he's got like a mohawk.
Oh, he's not going mohawk. Okay.
Can't really see from there.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Kind of, so that he definitely reminds me of what's his face from Guardian. That miniature reminds me of the Guardians guy. Yandu, yes. So he
Oh
looks
yeah,
at you,
Yandu Udanta.
and he goes, it was funny, is you rolled a 4, he rolled a 4. So meet it, beat it. He goes, I can tell you are actually more interested in what I've got going on.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can't. I mean, it's hard to hide these gills from flaring out. When I get really excited. So, you got me.
Are his gills on his here or are they on his neck?
Yeah, because I have like openings.
So they show. Okay.
You can see them. Yeah, almost
Yeah.
like not like disgusting, like the one from The Boys.
Disgusting, bro. Stop it. Stop
I
it.
mean, I'm
Where
gonna,
they're like,
yeah.
Stop it. Not disgusting.
sounds disgusting,
Get out of here.
those are disgusting. Like,
It
You
sounds
got
pretty
gills
off-putting
and-
if you've never
and
seen a trike.
secretions coming out of those gills.
Yeah.
Get
And
up
if
out
you get
here.
excited, they open up, dude. Like that's a whole nother level of weird. I'm gonna be honest.
Like some Fifth Element type shit right there, bro.
oh man,
So
whatever.
he-
They flare out a little bit. Like my clothing will like kind of move a little
Yeah.
bit.
Thorin looks at Zior and he's like, Zunis is aroused again. Whew, here we go.
Yeah. Everybody take a step back.
Can you
Give him some
guarantee?
space.
Can you all guarantee we'll be back in? What is this mission? Yeah, tell me more about what it is you even are up to.
So as you remember, we encountered the return
Mm-hmm.
as we were coming into Melitus, and in that encounter, we stumbled upon one of their masks, and yeah, I mean, I had an experience with that mask, and long story short, we ended up going to Kia, the Oracle, to get more clarity on what the inscriptions are.
About you are messing with the returned. Did you? I'm sorry, you guys thought you're so strong. You're diving off of the ship and off the ship into the land. My men could have gotten murdered. Those undead are strong. What makes you think that I'm like worth going with you? And I mean to cut you off, but that's just the
We're
character.
stronger.
Yeah. No. You're good. You know the area. You know the land. There are things that you know that we don't. Like, I'm not from here. Zunis is not from here. Yago, Thorin, we are
Now-
foreign.
I want to make you guys understand. So here, I'm hearing what you guys are saying, but I also want to like kind of interject this meta outside of the world. Theros, unlike Faerun or these other worlds we play in, is very small. These people have never been out of a 200 by 200 mile like radius. So I mean, yeah.
Gotcha.
So no one knows what's beyond the mountains at the top. No one knows what's beyond the Siren Sea. Most people believe that, and you guys have probably all heard the same stories, that you'll fall off the edge. It's literally the edge of the world. So I just want to say that because I'm not saying making sure your character believes that. But remember, you come from Orestes, which if you look on the map is like 100 miles over the mountain, which means like you know more
You're
of the
right there.
land than you think, because you would have had to even to come down to Melitus, you'd have to come down from the Pride Lands, which is in the middle of the map. You see what I'm saying? So it's not another it's not another continent. It's not even another island. You guys are all from the. For example, Yagos is from Lagona, which is outside of Melitus. So to be honest, he really should know all of that area. Yagos would know all of that area. So I'm just kind of saying that so to kind of give you, I know players don't know certain things, but your characters definitely know certain things. So making sure you guys know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, if it's a hard no for you, at least give us a little bit of, do you know anything about Orestes' tomb?
I'm gonna roll randomly, see if he knows anything. Orestes. That's funny. I used to go to a gambling hall. It's closed now, a couple blocks up the way. Turned into a murder bloodbath one night. Meltus guards had to show up. That's another story. But people always say when you're in the gambling halls, when you're in the places where deception and deceit is most prevalent, that Phoenix is there, the god of lies. I used to hear stories because some of the coins had Orestes even had his likeness. He was a thief who lived his entire life in honor of Phoenix, and I've heard. I didn't even think it was real. I thought it was fable, but which you could be going to. You could be. This could be a joke. But supposedly he had a tomb where he was laid rest, where all of him and all of his Phoenix worshippers, who took probably Phoenix way too serious, were laid to rest. So that's what I know of Orestes.
Interesting. Would you happen to know anything about the ritual of laying those people to rest? Do they get buried with, worldly possessions that may be of value?
Oh, Grifter told me it was years ago, but when we were having this conversation, he said they believed that they would all come back as returned. If you know anything about Phoenix, he is the first returned, or we believe those who honor Phoenix. Supposedly, lore says that Phoenix is the god of deception because he's the first spirit to sneak his ass out of the underworld, right? Said he deceived Erebos to his face. I don't know if it was a disguise, I don't know if it was a lie, but he made it back. But when he did make it, you see, I don't know if you saw those fuckers that we were fighting on those seas. They knew how to fight, right? They knew how to murder. But they weren't quite themselves. They weren't quite human. You see, the returned lose their memories. It's something about I don't even know why I'm acting like I know all this stuff, but it's just years of hearing the stuff that people believe. Who knows if it's true? But the returned lose their memories, and therefore they go through life with whatever remnants are just barely there. So if you were a murderer, you're a murderer just without the personality. The masks are just supposed to be golden funerary. Same, we usually put clay pot masks, that, on every undead here around the city. The return just come back with those fancy ones. Though no one ever wants to buy one off of you because you'll probably be cursed taking one of those. Which is why I'm so uneasy about walking around with you all, knowing, and he points at your pocket, Zior, like knowing that you have it on you, knowing that one of you has it on you somewhere. So we can go into the weeds and tell stories about gods all day, whether these being truth or not. But you see what I'm saying? You're barking into you're dealing with the gods. And I've always tried to stay. Remember I told you, I mean, kind of a flashback, a moment where we were standing on the deck with Zunis. And he's like, he tries to, remember he told Joan the first time he met him, and he tries to stay away from the gods as they are fickle, and he does not want to incur their wrath. So he goes, listen, if you can guarantee me I could, what is wrong with you, Thanos? He's like talking to himself. He's like the money has to be right. I've got to be back in 6 days tops because that's when I'm going out to sea. you have to be able to promise these things. I'm not sure any of you can. And if I go, definitely a group of my men go with me.
What we can promise you, Thanos, is that we will do our very best to keep you and your men safe. I will stake my life on doing the absolute best that I can to ensure your safety so that you can get back to your son and give him the tickets to the arena that we've discussed. You wouldn't want to miss that.
And just to add, I would like to join you to help these lost sailors in the Siren Sea. I will bring my trident, my trusty bow, along to help you and your men, if you will help us.
He goes quiet.
I will also come with you to the Siren Sea. If you will come with us to Tomb.
Siren Sea is treacherous, Thanos. You know this. You'd want 4 steady warriors that you've already seen what we can do. Think on that.
That could be worth any amount paid. Because save your life.
Listening to everyone talking at him, the voices coming from all angles. He looks up after thinking for a long time. He looks Zunis directly in the eye, and he only looks at Zunis. And you can tell that it's almost that moment, like if you've ever been in a sales, I don't actually, guys, but usually when you're selling someone on something, they say that the first person to speak loses when you get into a moment of figuring out when they're going to make a decision. So as you and him stare each other in the eye, it's almost this moment of where, like, it's uncomfortable, right? Like Zunis wants to say something, wants to try to convince him some more. And the room goes quiet for a second. Zunis, I need a persuasion check. You get an advantage because of the help of your party.
All right, come on, baby.
Come with it, Zunis. Come with it.
Man, charisma is not my...
Just twirl your mustache a little bit.
Forte. Let's do it. You got it, man.
It's not terrible.
Your gifts, bro.
Oh, wait, do I get advantage?
You get advantage.
All right. Oof, that was terrible. So yeah, 13.
Stares at you.
Twitching my mustache.
Starts twitching his eyebrow. Shakes his head. Grabs his helmet that's sitting on the table. He slips it on. And he stands up. His blue cloak, the blue frill on the top because it's Mellitus. Waves his hand at you all and turns and starts to walk towards the door. And then he turns around and he goes, "When do we leave?"
Yeah, that's my guy. Sorry, that was supposed to be inside voice. We will leave tomorrow morning.
What time is it right now? Oh, it's like
It's
midday.
the morning. It's like the morning. Like this all happened. It's like it's probably like 10:30 right now. You know.
Yeah. So Zior is like,
take the time you need. Yeah.
No.
Remember, he wants 6. Yeah, you got 6 days.
You got to be back in 6 days.
Because he's got to be able to get on his ship. Yeah.
And it's going to take us 3 days to get there. So, yeah, do your thing. You know, whatever. No. So Zior is like, it's a 3-day ride to our destination. So
surely we can cut that in 2 if we pick up the march and we push hard and move fast.
That sounds great.
Can't cut it in 2, but maybe cut it down by a day if you
But-
move fast.
Yeah. So I mean, Zior is just like, round up your men, the
Time
best
to
men that
go.
you feel will represent and be assets to this adventure. And let's meet back here in a couple hours, and then we can head out.
By the
Thank
way,
you.
my daughter Yuna likes Pancration too, so I'll need 2 of those tickets. And then he just
You can-
walks out of the door.
And I hand him
Done.
that ticket.
You can have mine too.
Nice.
We good, bruh.
Like, go ahead.
We good.
If
Do I
your
get some
daughter is a
layup
fan
tie
of Paul
points for this
Hercules,
shit?
we can, yeah, we can arrange some introductions. If your daughter is a fan of the Hulk,
We know some.
as everyone should be.
So you all began to kind of so when did we say we were leaving? When did you tell him? Sorry, I was
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, so
So
that gives
we'll
him
leave
2
like midday.
hours to try to convince other soldiers to go with. And so what I think he's going to do is I'm going to roll to see how many soldiers he end up convincing to go with you all. D4.
Big bucks, big bucks.
All right. So it's him. So
No whammies.
as you all start getting prepared
There it is.
and you all are deciding to meet at the edge of the city, time, a little bit of that 2 hours marches on. And there, the same entrance that days before Torin had been struck by lightning on, you can still see a spot on the ground that's kind of blackened as you guys are walking by the Meltus guards. Right outside,
Remember that one?
right outside.
As we walk by, Torin shivers, like the hairs on the back of his mane or his neck, they start to rise. They raise a little bit. Just you can tell he's uncomfortable.
He's that's why you don't allow geriatric abuse.
You know, guys, I don't know why, but I just get this weird feeling that might have been Keranos. I keep playing this over and over in my mind. It's just this is where I'm going.
Fair enough. Well, he looks as he sees the bit of chill on Torin. He goes, "You're all right there, buddy?" And he's standing with 3 other guards, Militus guard flanking, and he goes, "You're bringing on me this trip. I take it you're trusting my direction." Good. We're gonna head down along the Daedra about a full day, and after taking our rest, we're going to split off. And well, I know 2 ways. We can take the Rocky Ridge. He names this Rocky Ridge, or we can take the lowland valleys. Both should allow us to move faster than taking a full another day along the river. What say you all? We are a team, so take your contributions.
My vote is always take the high ground. I get itchy taking the lowlands. There might be an ambush,
Agreed.
or there could be something.
Then let's
An agreement.
show on the road, boys. And you all start marching outside the city. There will take a quick commercial break for me to do a couple additions since I've got to add these guys to the group now. And we'll come back ready to go. So good stuff.
Yo,
Sweet.
that was some great role playing. Guys,
Man,
proud of y'all. Zunis coming through.
Charisma.
Fish
is-
out.
It is. His
It's
gills
hard.
are flaring right now. We just can't see him.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard sometimes to I know I need to be this way with my character. It's just hard to not use your own personality sometimes. Fucking worst charisma.
Yeah, that is hard.
Those gills though, money.
Bruh, come on, man. These gills.
I tried, dude. I was trying to paint it on here, and it just didn't work out. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. But yeah, no, it's so you've seen The Boys on Prime?
Yeah.
The show?
Yeah.
Those are some fucked up gills. I'm thinking more like more subtle.
That's that other show that I wanted to watch.
The Boys is good. I've watched the first few episodes of season 1. I need to finish it up. But it's very well done.
How many seasons so far?
2 seasons, I think. Yeah, but they're 5 or 6 episodes per season, so it's really one full
one season for 2. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's really quick to blow through it. I mean, it's pretty brutal, but that's part of the part of the draw.
Yeah, it's the reality of it's the real world, what the world would look like for real. The superheroes were a thing, basically.
Gotcha.
Because we only see the glory. We don't see the
What y'all talking about?
The carnage, The Boys.
Oh, The Boys is great. So good.
Yeah.
Have you just started watching? Where are you at on it, Terry?
I've watched the first maybe 2. I've gotten halfway through season 1.
Okay.
I need to get back in.
Oh, it's so good, man.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the first few episodes.
Yeah, and I'm tired of I'm honestly so tired of so burnt out on superhero stuff, but I do like that. I do like The Boys. And,
well, I mean, to me, it's a more realistic depiction of what the world would look like for real if we did have people with superhuman, powers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, heck, have you guys seen Invincible? I mean, that was animated, but
I haven't. I've heard really good things, but I have not seen.
I just started. I watched the first episode yesterday.
What platform is that on?
Amazon.
It's on Amazon, so same as The Boys.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's voiced by Steven Yeun. The guy from The Walking Dead.
Oh, there's a bunch of people on that. Though. It's not.
Yeah. The Asian dude in The Walking Dead. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I know it's been a long time, but he's the Asian dude, the main dude that was on there. And then I mean, he does a lot of voice acting. And he's really good. He was just not I think he was just nominated for an Oscar. I don't even know if he won or not, but he was nominated for some movie he did.
What about y'all said that new ad for that What If, the Marvel?
Yes. That looks super fire.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man.
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was a run of comic books back in the day too.
It was. Yeah.
It was.
I have a few of them.
So.
Yeah.
That looks
Wait, there's a trailer? There's a trailer for this?
I'm sorry?
There's a new trailer or something?
For it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just saw a quick commercial yesterday while I was watching the NBA Finals, and I was like,
me too. Ooh. Somebody in one of my Facebook groups posted it, and I was like, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
pretty tight.
Pretty dope.
It's random stuff. It's what if Wolverine was a bad guy, or what if what if Professor X
is it a comic book
Magneto, or
is it an anime? What is it going to be?
It's an animated. Yeah, it's an animated cartoon
series
on Disney Plus.
It used to be a comic book where basically they took everybody in the multiverse and gave them literally a what if. Anybody can win up against anybody.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I kind of like that concept.
Yeah, me too. I was super excited when I heard about them making that show, and I was a little worried about how they would do it, but then I saw the preview. I was like, holy shit, man. It looks like they nailed it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's actually kind of nice to see, all the stuff that, I mean, I was into this since when I was a kid. You know what I mean? But like now watching it come to fruition in like an actual serious way, you know, like they put money and effort behind it.
Yeah.
Like decent writers. It's really cool.
Is anybody watching Loki?
Yeah.
Dude, that shows. I really like
Loki's
that. That's actually my favorite.
I need to start that. I'm bullshitting. I don't know. I need to own it.
Damn it.
I know. I'm
That one's pretty damn good. Enjoying that.
So good.
Yeah,
Actually,
I like all of them.
I just started.
I've liked, you know, like the WandaVision. I've liked the Falcon.
Yeah, I think it's just that Loki's been my favorite so far. So I liked WandaVision. I really enjoyed it all the way until the ending, and then it just kind of turned into like. When I say this, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to if anybody likes the show. It just turned into like big dumb comic book episode. Like, let's just blow everything up and fight. And I was like, I felt like it had a way. It could have not done that and really ended with I think a different kind of bang. And then
I mean, like the comic book arc was like a lot darker. Like they really kind of like vanillaed the whole thing.
I don't even know. I thought that Captain American Winter Soldier got a little heavy-handed and preachy at the end, and I did not like his outfit. I felt like if you're going to replace Captain America, don't look like a Power Ranger. Don't like that suit. I felt like it didn't have the budget. It looked like a black Power Ranger, bro. Like I was like, oh god, what is going on? Like the padding looked like padding. Like, you know, Chris Evans is coming out, like, and here he was, and I was like, they did my boy wrong. Like, and then he's like preaching to the senators.
You know,
this is what we need to do to make.
I don't disagree actually. Like hearing you say that, like I don't disagree at all. But like the one thing that I did like is when he finally like when they did his fight scenes, whenever he had the shield, I was just like,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, shit, that's tight.
Don't get me wrong, it was actually a really good show. Like, and everything was really good. It's like it's just I have these pet peeves and they all happen at the end. They all are like on the last episode. I'm like, it's like they stuck the landing, but it's like they stuck and then like kind of wobbled a little bit. You know, like, I saw that wobble.
They stumbled.
Hey, who was that one that won the gold medal doing that? Did you see one of them girls? Carrie Strug.
Was she wobbling a lot?
She broke her leg or she broke her ankle or something.
Yes, I remember
like
that.
Landed
yeah,
it.
that was.
And she still won gold. So I feel you.
Oh man, but
I'll be checking all these out in the next week because I just got Disney. The Boys I totally had forgotten about, but I will be checking that out too. So exactly.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm jealous, man. You got a lot of good stuff to watch, actually.
So we come back. As you all leave the city and travel over the first few hours, what's your marching order? How are you, like, kind of describe what we see if we were kind of like over the head Lord of the Rings drone shotting in on the party, like how they would, you know, who's at the front, who's at the back, who's taking middle, or are you different than that? Are you spread out, or how do you guys move when you're in the wild? And you're not in the forest, you're in open ground, almost like you're 3 hours, you're only like right outside of Melissus and you're going along the river. I imagine you're not like right beside it, but you can see the river in the distance, right? You can see a lot of croplands. In the first couple hours, you passed a couple like peasant lands and like farming fields. And now you're kind of at that point where you're just starting to get to the point where you don't see any souls in sight, right? There's anything you guys share as you're traveling, kind of like the marching order, particularly.
I would probably be.
I'll say that Torn's in the back. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say I'll probably be out front, kind of scouting ahead, just as you were saying that, you know, would know the terrain a little bit. Just kind of surveying the area to make sure, you know, we're safe, as well as, like you say, keeping in communication with everybody, right off ahead, come back, travel with the group, right off the head, come back, you know, just kind of giving them a heads up on what we're going to encounter coming up.
Yes. Okay. I like that. So you're taking the lead and you kind of go out, you survey the land, you come back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably like middle of the pack. Definitely, head on the stool, sniffing around, trying to, just trying to stay vigilant.
Got it. And how about you? Anything? Yours, Zunis?
I'm behind. Was behind Yago's side.
Behind Yagos.
Give him a little
Okay.
hit on the butt, and
unless you want to ride with Yagos on Yagos.
Can I ride you?
Negative.
Can I ride on?
Gil's open,
my brother.
super excited.
Who said it?
There
Do y'all need a moment?
pause.
Y'all need a moment?
I didn't ask that question, man.
Y'all,
No,
That was
y'all
him.
need some time behind these rocks real quick?
Just came out in a weird way. I'm sorry, Yagos. But can I just need a better vantage point. You're a big dude.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
When you swim in the water, do people ask to get aboard?
I mean, when you? I mean,
I have.
That's fine.
Is that
Go
you?
ahead.
Y'all wild right now. Y'all are wilding right now. This is great. Love it. Love it.
Oh my God.
It's with a pause. I tell you no.
Okay. Well, don't be so sensitive about it. We're supposed to see you when you come back scouting.
His gills close very slowly, from aroused to disappointed.
Heels are fun.
You guys are realizing you're starting to really test your resolve and your constitution, because one thing about these Meltis guys, they try to keep up. They're no Acroans, but they're almost keeping a brisk jog, and then they walk for a bit. Now Yagos is outpacing them, of course, but I think that of everyone else, they're just like constantly like, come on, keep pushing on. Every time Yagos comes back, they're like, all right, we keep going. You get to about the 8-hour mark, and they're literally like, no, for us to keep this within the time frame, no break. So it's like,
We gotta go.
it's like 6:30 right now in the evening, and he's like, what we need to do, we got to keep going. This is where he said we would go at least 8 hours along the river. Now he points towards a ridge, like a rocky outcrop. We head up to high ground right over that ridge. Another 3 hours. That's where we camp. There's an old ruins there. It's where it's the kind of safest area in these parts. And then you guys continue. Now, do you want to try to convince him to take the rest? Because you are all feeling a bit tired, and if you do continue on, you will make an exhaustion check to push those extra couple of hours. But provided nothing happens, you'll just make it up in the 8-hour rest that you take.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We got you.
Yeah, let's keep going.
I'll give everybody advantage on the exhaustion check, because I will say, it hasn't been the most. It's not like you've been climbing rocky peaks. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, I got to just push myself a little bit harder, and where you would normally take your rest.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it is wise to take a defensible position. So if there's a place where we can stop, and there are ruins and walls behind us, I'd say that's wise, as opposed to being out in the open. So
advantage
100%.
DC 8 Constitution save.
So we need to hit an
8 or more. You get anything, and you get advantage. You get to roll 2 d20s, and if you get 8 or under, then you take exhaustion, which will be disadvantage on all ability checks going forward until you take a long rest.
So wait, we're rolling a d20. You said? I thought we were rolling.
You roll a d20 and you add your Constitution save modifier. You guys can, you can actually literally click on it in D&D Beyond, or you can roll dice. But it's a because you guys numbers, there's save numbers and then there's regular checks. Saves are usually higher, so it's a Constitution save. So you're gonna get 2 d20s, take the highest result, add your con modifier. Anything lower than 8, you will take the fail.
I don't have a con modifier.
So you're 0. Then you're 0 in con. then you're straight rolling it for
Literally rolled in
20.
I rolled an 8.
for the second one.
He's
For the
mad.
second, your highest one was an 8.
Yeah,
Okay, beat it.
because my first one was a critical fail. Which is
these
like-
Leonin is struggling like.
Which is exactly who I am as a D&D player.
Yeah.
Like, I am a critical fail roller. Like, that's who I am. Somebody's got to be that motherfucker in the group.
By the way, I had my party
man.
with you guys party the composition, and some of the other players were like, "Oh hell no, they're all fucked up," because they're like they don't. They were like just the composition is because one of my buddies Jason was like, "Oh, they're so screwed because they have 2 paladins, right?" So it's like that's kind of good, but then they got like these high defenders, but like you have like no, you got a caster. I guess you got a beef caster and you got a fighter. But you guys probably could use when Michael gets back. You need another class to round things out. But he was like, I'm scared for them.
Yeah, but I feel I feel like Michael is probably gonna pick something kind of like
Something
bold
fighter
and,
like, I gotta-
in your
yeah.
face. Yeah. Anyway,
I can
But
do
that's
that,
how
so-
hey, I like
Can we
that's how it is.
influence this guy?
So what we got? Anybody fail?
No, I got a 17.
I got a 20.
Okay.
I got 11.
So everybody continues to push on. Zior just made it. He's like,
Jasmine.
and he's like kind of panting. You know, Thanos kind of looks and it's like, really, really, and he goes, and he's like, all right, let's go. And as you turn to march on, suddenly, you see a caravan of look like horses coming towards you, kicking up a ton of dust, like riding very hard, multiple of them. Now at this moment, can I get a perception check from everyone?
All right. 18.
11.
11.
Oh, 17 for me.
Okay.
16.
16. I got 16. So with 16 and some else, was 18 was the highest from Zunis. Okay. And so it's like Yagos immediately hears the hooves, and as he turns, having that conversation back and forth with, Eunice saying, "Can I ride you?" and him being very upset. That's what throws Yagos off for a minute. So he's upset when he turns because he realizes he should have heard him coming earlier. But it's Zunis who sees them and he goes, "Hey, he goes like, you realize you don't see any weapons out." And as Yagos is pulling his, you kind of like tell him to like hold for a second. And it's just enough time for Yagos to also realize that these are Lagona tribes. This is a group, a merchant band called Aguros. And when they see you all, they start to ride out of your path, like over to the right, away from you, through the fields, almost like going around you and away from you. And you notice that on each of these centaurs, there's at least 20 of them in this pack. Each of them's back is strapped to like, there's probably like, it looks like what looks like people riding them at first you realize are just packs of gear and supplies. And one of them breaks off and starts to ride towards you. And he rides up and he stops, kind of a bronze-skinned young man, middle-aged maybe, maybe late 20s, early 30s. He has long black hair. It's braided in a couple of places with beads. And as he rides up, clearly shaven, no beard, got these kind of Celtic or strange markings, like almost like tattoos all on the skin. And you immediately notice him by the markings, Yagos, to be what they would call the barterer. Every band has a barterer.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "I saw you from afar, brother. I am Aldite. I We are headed to Melitus. I assumed when I saw you and your kind that you meant no harm traveling with the others. You clearly aren't fairies. And wanted to offer you a chance to buy wares from us before we carry on. And in your culture, what you do know about this band, the other group stays away because they would not come in close. They would, and a lot of them, the barter is usually the one that speaks common, who speaks, they all.
Right.
So he's able to come in and kind of make those normal introductions that people would understand. And so he's offering you an opportunity to shop. You and yours.
That would be
You
great.
can tell that Othanos and his men look a bit weary, like they don't trust the centaur. Is this okay?
That would be great, my brother. We will take the time.
Okay. Actually, I take that back. They look as normal as you do. They just because they're in the wild, they're still a bit on edge, but they do know they're just making sure they're not in disguise or something like that. Okay. And so
My brethren, would you like to shop with them?
are you asking your party? Or are you asking him?
Yeah, I'm asking the party.
Yeah.
Uh,
We
Courtney.
barter, both money and bartering or trade is welcome, depending on what you are looking for. I can tell we have fine, we have high quality centaur adventuring supplies, roping, climbing gear, explorers packs. If you're looking for common weaponry, good gladius, maybe a good short sword or a good spear, we can help with that. We also have some healing potions, while those run very rare, so they are expensive. And we have some quite rare, we have a few rare items, but only for the discerning traveler who is willing to spend a pretty penny. A pretty coin. Pretty. It's no pennies.
how much are the healing potions?
Everyone always wants to know how much are the healing potions. I can do you kindly one kind of, and a young woman rides over and she pulls a string on her like the strap kind of folds down, and there are about 12 of them, small vials of different size. Not each potion is a bit longer, almost like a beaker, but a bit with a nice curve to it. He goes, regular healing potions are 50 gold coins, greater 75, superior 124, and the most supreme 175. It's a great deal, as I save you a few coins on each one of those there as you go up the list, clearly. Very hard to manufacture, and I might add that the way we make our healing potions, we use only the finest herbs from the Lagonan fields, and even there's a little special mama's recipe I won't share.
I will take one of those healing potions. The 50 gold piece.
Okay.
Level.
So he hands a potion over. Hopefully, may Farika be with you. May she bless this potion and it be the most potent. Can I get a history check from you, Zior?
Sure. 13.
Okay. And so you clearly register Farika to be the god of poison, but also the god of medicines and all herbs and things that are mixes. So, not to scare you, but yeah, so Farika would be in this world the connection to all medicine, as well as to all things that hurt your constitution, as well as all things that help your constitution.
Oh,
Yep. She is often depicted as like almost like a Medusa, like a gorgon like creature or woman.
What are the like stats for that?
Oh yeah, so it's going to give you a 2d4 plus 2. So whenever you use it, action to use it. What I'll do is, I know everybody hates the idea that when you use a potion in combat, if you need it in combat, it's a full action. What I'll do is, what I've been trying to do lately is, if you want to try to use it as a bonus action, you risk it not having its full potency. So you make you'll make like a dex save to try to drink it while you're in the middle of the fray, and pretty much it counts as you either getting it all in or spilling or not being able to chug enough or whatever it is, because you're not going to be able to drink and then put it back, and then so it's like it counts as like whatever was wasted or spilled if you try to use it as a bonus action. So that's if we ever need that, but otherwise if you use a full action, you're taking the full 6 seconds to be like and take the full amount of the potion. So 2d4 plus 2. This is things that you guys should all know anyway. So keeping your notes for D&D, a greater healing potion, double it. It's going to be 4d4 plus 4. Superior is 8d4 plus 8. And then the very most rare is the 10d4 plus 20. That's a supreme. But it costs 175 gold coins.
So quick question outside of the game. So let's say you get the supreme, right?
Yeah.
And you max it out. You're only going to be able to get back to whatever your current hit.
Yes. So at this level, buying a supreme point healing is not worth it for you all.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah.
So, and he only has, after you buy that one, he only has one left of the regular healing potion.
Another question for you. Would you happen to have any archery things in that realm?
We can sell you finely crafted arrows. Actually, don't take this as being racial, but I think I have something you might like. It's from I guess it's going to come off that way. It's from the Orestes Pride lands.
When someone says that, it's going to be racial.
Pretty much.
Hashtag facts.
And so he presents you a bow and 10 arrows. Now you actually would have to count these arrows because 10 arrows are magic ammunition. They're +1 to each shot. So you have to track them because they're special arrows. And you can tell by looking at them, just by glancing zero, that they are Leonin in nature. Like they have been crafted. Now, I'm sure there's different, all Leonins are the same, so I'm sure there's multiple cultures. So it may not be your exact pride or where but you're like, yeah, this definitely is a Leonin like weapon. And so it's so high quality that it's not that it's magical. Like, when we say D&D, we say something's magical, so you get a +1. It might not even, it will count as magical, but it's probably just so well crafted that whoever was blessed by the god that made it. And it's that the bow is made out of ivory, and have some. And one thing I will say, addition to it, is he says if you take this, you will. Well, I know you know the direction of your home, but if you are ever lost and you hold the bow to the sky in the sunlight, the sun will guide you home.
That's tight.
How much is that? An arrow set.
300 gold coins, unless you have something worth bartering for.
You know what to do.
Well, good sir. I'm just going to throw this out there, and Terry, Zior, not to step on your toes here, but
I do have a
might have
sister. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Torin. I'm sorry.
No. Go on about the sister.
Yeah, you have a sister.
You have a sister.
Ears
a
perked up.
sister.
Everybody's ears perked up.
Yeah.
Who
Even
is-
Zunus's gills opened up a little bit.
She seeks to be wed and has turned down every suitor within our clan. We all desperately want her to be wed, and so maybe if she likes you, maybe this is all if it's even possible. Maybe this could be a wedding gift.
Is it? Now I'm going to say something that might be a little insensitive. Could a Leonin even procreate with a centaur?
So now you're
Is that
going to be
possible?
racist. And he goes,
Turnabout is fair play, sir. Turnabout is fair play.
Fair place. In the years of our family, we have never seen it. And this is why my sister has quite a few, we have pushed, of course, culture and family has pushed against this, but I'm going to turn another hand and say she loves her some Leonin.
Of course she does. That goes without saying.
She has never
sir.
actually met, or actually, it could, I don't know, maybe it's just a fetish. But she loves it. It's something about you all.
She's a Liebo. We understand.
Maybe the gods.
Do you happen to have a? Do you happen to have a likeness?
Yeah.
A likeness
sketch
of
her.
your sister.
We were not. Against. He looks at Yago. It's like, yeah, it's against. Culturally, you would have to come over and meet her alone. Nothing is going to happen. So don't get your, don't get frisky there, cat. But you can come for a meet and
grins a big
Right.
cat grin.
It could be you as well. He looks at Torin. He says, like, this for some reason I imagine this one's a type, but I could be wrong. Maybe both
Torin's
of you
shocked
can
that he
come
wasn't
and
talking to
see who she likes more.
I am inclined to meet your sister and see where this takes.
How do we get into these episodes every single episode?
It's
It's my fault. This was-
Every time we end up
this was
hollering
my
at
fault.
somebody.
This was my
At
fault.
least there isn't a phallic, at least there isn't a phallic conveyance that's taking us to this sister. You know what I'm saying? There isn't like a dick wagon.
And I don't know if
something
you like. So she
like
is a
that.
centaur. So I don't know if you're in this. Like, so he leads you over both. Does Torin going? Is Torin and Zior across these plains? And Yagos is welcome to come.
Torin's going. Torin's going.
Wow.
Let me see. Give me a second here to do a little.
Zunish opens up a can of some kind of soup. He's just.
I mean, if nothing else, I would just be curious to see what a centaur and Leonin baby would look like.
I don't even. Yeah, I clearly don't. I can't even confirm if it's even possible. It's maybe she's not looking to procreate. Maybe she's just looking to have. Maybe she wants to, someone.
She just wants a companion. Maybe.
And it just might be the companionship. And so he leads you over, and as you both come walking up, he goes, Yagriika. And then she looks over and she turns around and she has this very like long black hair, bronze skin like him. She's she's actually quite striking. If here's the thing, as Leonin, if you are attracted to humans, because essentially from the body down, she looks like a human woman, and then she has this kind of horse, almost Clydesdale-ish body that is.
I'm ready.
Oh man,
I'm about that.
This whole episode is wrong.
That's heavy.
Woo!
That is,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
is dark and slick. So
You
There's a
have
whole
to
other level
have
now.
love. Hold on.
Can I have a straight charisma check from both of you? This isn't you trying to persuade. It's not a persuasion. It's just a charisma. It's just your natural aura that you give off.
Damn it, my natural aura is. Oh no.
Yeah, same
that's a
here.
bummer.
My shit.
Y'all both are disgusting.
Says the dude who was hitting on the bartender last episode, going in.
Yeah. Exactly. I just rolled a 10.
I just rolled a 3, yo. This is bullshit.
3. So at the 10 and the 3, she looks over. She kind of smiles, like, kind of clutches her chest for a second. Her brother goes over and speaks with her.
How did
And she speaks with her brother.
What you do? Oh.
And then she looks at him like, what are you doing? Like, you could tell they're having a conversation. Her voice kind of raises. You can't just do that to me. I'm not some bride to be sold. It's like, I thought you said you like Leonin. They start to have this like tit for tat back and forth. And she goes, and then she turns back away and puts her like kind of struts away. And he walks back and he's like, I guess it's just not in the cards today, guys. She loves Leonin, but something about you're a little. He looks at Torin. You're a little. He looks at Zior. You're a little lean, and I don't know. She's didn't cut it for her. She's a picky young lass.
As a last ditch effort, Torin just rips it out. He like lets out the most masculine roar that he possibly can. He goes, ah!
Persuasion check.
In
Persuasion check from, and you would have to beat the roll that she rolled because you guys rolled so low, you pretty much just weren't her type. So even though you were Leonin,
oh no, I rolled a 2.
So what'd you get for your roar?
It's more like a squeak.
What was it? What was the number? Oh,
You got
2. Oh my! So
It was 2. I rolled 2.
It's like whoa! He kind of like his voice cracks for a
My
second.
voice cracks.
And she whips her hand around, and she just goes like, shakes her hand and looks at her brother like, "Get them out of here!" Like, and so goes, "How dare you try to barter me to get rid of that goddamn bow and arrow that no one wants to buy?" And so he turns over and goes, "Well, I'll part with it for 150 unless you have things you'd like to trade." Otherwise, I think
before she's completely out of earshot, Torin like busts his last option. He pulls out his tickets that Hercules gave him, and he's like, "Wait. Do you like arena fighting? Have you ever heard of Hercules?"
Wait.
And then he, Aldite goes, "Who?" You, I don't know if it's humans, Melitist folk. That is unfortunately not going to do it. And then suddenly, a man trots up, an elder-looking man, and he stops. He says, "Aldite, stop. Did you say Hercules?" I love Hercules.
I did indeed, sir.
I have never been able to get a seat in the arena when he jostles with his great, sweaty, muscly. Okay, I am. I'm a fan. You have
Even this
tickets.
kind of flares a little bit.
You have tickets.
Not only do I have tickets, sir, but Hercules has personally grasped these hairy arms, and
His
I
back
think
legs kind of buckle a
if
bit.
Stop it! Stop it!
Everybody's confused because he's like the elder of the whole camp. Like,
Oh my god!
not only do I have season tickets, good sir, but I could arrange for an introduction if that would be of interest.
a meet and greet with Hulk Hercules. How can I be assured this is no lie?
You see this matted fur that's on my arms? This is if you smell the oil, this is the same oil that Hercules uses, and he left this mark. I haven't washed myself since he has, marked me, and I know it's a very distinct odor, as he only uses this very particular brand. As a fan of Hercules would know. So I ask you, as honest as this is, to take a sniff.
Even if this, he looks at Yagos and he goes, "You look familiar. I feel like I may have known your family at some time." Aldita, it is worth the risk. Give him the goddamn ivory, and I will take the tickets. Aldita is like, "Do you know what this is worth?" But sir, he goes, "Give it to them." And so he'll take the 100 gold coin tickets to Hulk Hercules and will trade and give you the Pride Lands bow and arrow with only 10 shots that are +1. You have that now, Zior. He thanks you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you guys want as they all prepare? As the sun is starting to set, they decide to kind of move on.
Yeah, I'm just eternally grateful to Torin, and I look at him and I say, dude, I owe you big time. I know how much that ticket meant to you. I owe you.
He looks over at Zior and he nods, and he just kind of says, I just wanted to get laid, bro. Very much under his breath.
Man.
And then no one else heard that. No one else heard that. That was specifically for Zior, and he for everyone else it was a very magnanimous act, and he just nods and continues on.
And so as you depart, you hope to maybe see that group mispronounced, but that group of band, which you imagine you probably do, because the Lagonas, they're merchants, they go back and forth to Melitus. So if that's your
all the time
hometown, then you might see them again someday. And so it's getting later. You march the next 2 hours. So like I said, by the time it's about 6:30. So you march. You actually even get there around 7:30. You cut that time in half because Othanos has just been pushing you. He pushes you extra hard because you guys stopped to have a conversation with the Laguna. He's like, we need to find ground and we need to do it before the stars come out. And so you come up over the ridge, and there in this valley, there are ruins. And there's one section that you can see that's like an old like pavilion, or maybe it could have been an old form where part of the ceiling collapsed, and it's just being held up by multiple columns. He goes, we usually camp there. Towards the center of the camp, there is a broken down fountain, where of course it doesn't spew. This almost looks like it was an ancient city, or ancient, maybe even like a small city that is just has been vanished, whether the gods made it that way or it's gone. So there's a broken down fountain where it now looks like it could be a well. Not too far away from that, there's some dried up, mangled trees. They are completely dead. It feels somber, but it doesn't feel threatening or dangerous. And there is on one pillar, one column, one life-size statue of Iroas, the god of victory. Looks like a centaur. His body is bovine though, so it's more of a bull's body with a man's upper top, and he's wearing like almost like a Spartan helmet, huge frill. He's holding his spear towards the sky, a shield in one hand. And you immediately, I mean, everyone I think knows the god, so you just recognize that is Iroas. All right, let's set up perimeter camp. We typically camp right here under the little pavilion where there's a little bit like an overhead. Is anyone else doing anything or saying anything in this moment?
Nope.
Nah, Zior's
We're
just,
tired.
Yeah,
I'm ready to shut
Yeah.
down.
dog, like really tired. Like barely made it time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Should we rotate?
Who's on watch? Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can start.
Sounds good.
As everyone starts to kind of settle in, you boys, Yago, did you know your boys liked? I didn't know your Leonin were into the centaur like that. Quite an interesting spectacle today, watching you all falling over that the young lass.
Billy.
Hey man, let me tell you something. I'm young and I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm not turning down nothing but my collar.
It would be interesting if you could have. I've never seen a Leonin. What would a Leonin tar? I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know. And he pulls out a little pouch and he starts to something that's strong. Opens like his little water skin, and you can tell it's different from the one he's been doing all, kind of swigging all day. You can tell there's probably something strong in there. Sits back, he looks up and he goes, well, sun is starting to drop. Elliot is going to his rest, and now the rest of the Knicks will come out tonight. I will say this is a good camping site. Search it well, and every now and then we, my guys here, they kind of go, yeah. So every now and then we find a little bit of treasure here. Remnants from whatever lost civilization or came before. I know that Zunis said he was going on watch first. Can I get a perception check from you, Zunis?
Yeah. $16.
16. So Zunis, can you describe for me in this open area? It's almost like a small, like the football field size area with ton of rocks and broken pillars that have collapsed from old, surrounded by rocky outcrop. What does your watch look like? Do you venture far from the group? Do you just stay like right around everyone else, is kind of camping out and talking? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of every hour or two, I will, there's just, some of the ruins allow me to kind of climb up a little
you haven't
bit.
even gotten to an hour. You're just in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of watch.
Yeah, no, I'm just basically I perched myself up into like one of the pillars that's like half off. I'm just kind of sitting there with my my trident / bow. Just have it ready. I don't like to roll.
So, can I get a perception check from everyone else?
Four.
7.
3.
Okay. So suddenly there's a tremor, but it was so light that I feel like only Eunice really felt it. And suddenly you feel it again, and it's from you're perched up on this uh pillar, and you feel the ground from under you shift, and then it seems like it's coming. You see the ground starting to kind of crack up and fold, and you realize that your party is so busy talking, and even the Mellitus guards, that you're the only one that can react. You don't know what it's going to be, but you can see it moving under the earth, right, towards them. And you're on the pillar, it's moving right under you or right next to you, and it's about 30 feet before it gets to them. What do you do?
I,
Almost like,
as
I was like the ground just buckling.
I'm shooting at the ground as I'm yelling, "Hey, hey!" So I'm just shooting frantically down to the ground. Hey, there's something here.
And so as that is happening, you will take this shot at this thing as the ground is moving there in the late of the day. The party kind of camped around here. Zunis, you hear over on this pillar as suddenly bursting out from the ground, breaking a giant scorpion, busts out. Roll initiative.
Come on, bro.
Oh my God.
Come on, bro.
If you need to pin that so to see it closer, I'll add 2 pins to the table.
I got a dirty 20.
All right.
Now I'm trying to figure out like how I can equip a bow and arrow in my like I found arrows, but I couldn't find, I'm not sure.
You just go to a druid should be able to use a bow and arrow. Yeah, absolutely. So you just go to you'll put it in your notes, but then to equip, you're gonna go to your
inventory, right?
Inventory. You go to equipment. Go to the equipment section and go to add equipment. Do you see that?
Yeah, I did that. I added arrows.
And then go back and then equip it. So you got to equip it so that it actually be on your person. So you go into your inventory and then hit a little button and it'll turn red and then it'll be equipped.
Yep, I did that.
And it's still not there?
Well, no, it's there, but like, what are the stats though?
It's
because it's not in my like attack or my action. You know what I'm saying?
That means you didn't equip it. If you equip it, it has to be in your attack. If you equip it, it will be in your where you can attack and click on it. But a bow is just weapons don't add anything. Remember this about D&D. They don't add stats. They just add a damage base. So I think a bow and arrow, I think it's it might be a D8, short. It's going to be a short bow, right? Not a long bow. So you're going to add a short bow, not arrows. It's when you add the short bow, that's what's going to give you the stat, not the arrow. The arrow is just a number that you need to track every time you use that magical.
Gotcha. Okay.
So arrows do 1d6 damage. So even if you didn't have D&D Beyond, the best way to understand this is that when you fire with an arrow, you're using your dexterity. You're using your dexterity bonus plus your proficiency. So if your proficiency is +2, your dexterity is +1, whatever you add whenever you shoot something, that's going to be the number that you add to the d20. Once you hit, you're going to add that dexterity modifier without the proficiency. So whatever your dexterity bonus is, that's what you're going to add to the damage of the weapon. So it's going to be a d6 plus whatever. When you hit something with a weapon, you add the strength modifier plus, strength modifier plus the damage of the weapon. So for you, each one of these bow and arrows is going to be a magical. So it's going to do piercing damage plus magical damage. So that's all it's going to do. But the good thing about that is if, let's say something is immune to piercing damage, it won't be immune to this piercing damage because it's considered magical. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you still can't find it. I don't see it.
I'm trying to find the.
We'll take a
short
quick
bow,
we'll
though.
take a quick commercial break while everybody rolls their initiatives, and I help Terry with this, and then this will be the last scene tonight. I know we got started a little late, so I want us to do this.
Can I say how badass that scorpion looks though? As
Yeah.
going into that break.
Yeah.
Can you put that like bit closer to the camera?
Yep, I'm gonna put it.
See teeth, man.
Yeah, it has teeth.
Hold on. Let me switch cameras. Holy crap, man! That is just a badass looking.
I printed it today.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Man.
That's nasty. That's nasty, bro.
That's fucking
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's clean, bro.
Thanks. So probably try to do angle. I'll do this being
So what? I'm trying to look it up now. Like, should it be a long bow or short?
short. Let's do short bow. That's what I thought of in my mind when I.
It's saying no results are found when I hit the search.
When you're
Should
searching,
I just do a crossbow just to get the stats?
crossbow's a different stat. So let me see.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna try. I'll try to look. Well, if I can't get it, then I'll move on. Hold on. Let me go to you guys. Come on.
we just
Campaign. Home group. Oh, it's not Eddie too. Another thing you guys need to start thinking about is your name of your group, because both so far the other groups have names now, and you guys are still home group. So once you guys, I mean, that could kick them with time, but there's the Fleece Mane Lion Company, the Brahma or the Bronze Bullies, because they have a Minotaur in their group. So okay, so ZR, when I go in here, let's see what I see if you've equipped this right. So inventory.
So I just have arrows right now.
You have arrows, but you don't. Yeah, it's because you didn't equip.
I don't have
manage inventory, equipment. Yeah, so you gotta you have to add that, and you either have to edit by going to add items at the top. Equipment.
Yeah, no, so I did that. Yeah. So I'm under equipment. I went to add items, and I scrolled through like basically like the whole thing.
Weapon.
I didn't see a short bow as an option
crossbow,
because it's in
light bow.
alphabetical order, right?
Yeah, it looks like
The only thing I saw was a crossbow.
I wonder. Seems weird unless your character can't. Why would your character not be able to use regular bows?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's weird. Short bow doesn't show up, huh? Short
Yeah.
bow plus. Actually, short bow plus 1 shows up, but you could have added, that's what you want is a short bow plus 1. So you add short
Where is
bow.
that?
I just typed in short bow, and that short bow plus 1 showed up. What's funny, but actually short bow showed up too. You just have to. So when you're so at the filter, I just put in short bow, and then they popped up.
What? One word or two?
2 words. And then it showed up as 1 word. I added it, so now I've equipped it on you, and now refresh, and you should have a short bow equipped, and then you can get rid of that. Yeah. What do you see now? Okay. Do you see? Is that added now?
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Because when I type it in, it says no results found.
That's weird.
Which I think is hilarious.
So I'm seeing you is now added with the scimitar. It's in green. Short bow plus 1.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me go back on my character sheet. Yeah. How you do that? All right.
Yeah, I'll try to show you.
we good. I'm
We
in
good.
here. All right.
So, so let's go
All right.
ahead. Let me go to
All right, I'm
initiative
ready.
then.
I'm
Yeah, you guys
ready
want to
to
use
go.
your Russian real quick, and then or anything you guys got to do, and I'll set up this initiative counter. Home group. Tonight has been so funny.
So random.
So random. Our group is so random. but great. Love it.
That's what we need to name our group.
Yeah, we are random.
Yeah. Oh, it feels like the aimless warriors or something.
Aimless wonder.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be something relatively dope. I feel like that kind of like fumble. I feel like we're fumbling a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
The savage fumblers. I don't know.
Savage fumble.
I don't know. I don't know.
And then I'm gonna add your two your Melitus guards. So there's a Melitus hoplite in the mix. That is Othanos, who's gonna be pretty nasty. And then there's the guards.
What's the scientific name for
For
lions? That would be like feline, right? And then
let me see.
it's a feline, right? And then for horses, it's like equine.
So the scientific name for lions is Panthera leo.
Ooh,
Kind of clean, right?
that height.
Panthera. So all right. So then the
With-
scientific name for what are you half horse? What are you?
Centaurs are half horse. Yeah.
So Equus Caballus.
Ooh. Okay. So Caballus, and then what was our first one? What was our first for the lion?
Panthera.
Panthera.
And then for
Panthera
fish,
equus.
scientific name for fish is Jesus.
Say it again. You cut out.
Hold on one second. I can't pronounce this word.
Type it in the chat.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous. I can't spell this word either. Jeez Louise. Do this?
Hold on. We're doing Latin.
Low key, yeah.
Yeah, actually.
That's the scientific word for fish. Bony fish, in particular. Are you bony or cartilaginous,
I am
Zunis?
bony fish. Yeah.
Bony fish.
Austin.
Steak thieves. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably that sounds good to me. So how would we are you thinking of combining these three names essentially?
Yeah, I mean basically I mean, so what was the you said
Panthera, Equus.
Panthera, Equus.
All right, I'm ready for initiatives whenever you all are.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 for Zior. For Zunis.
I don't know.
18. Oh, sorry. Yagos 18.
18 for Yagos. Torin for Zunis. 18 for Zunis.
16.
16. Torin.
16.
16 as well. Thanos rolled a 5, but his guards rolled 19. So
nice.
So as all this debris and stuff gets kicked up, grab all the guards on there. Yeah, as he's calling, one of the guards turns around and gets kind of hit in the head by some shrapnel and throws him back. He's okay, but he gets knocked prone as all the shrapnel, flies in every direction. Can I get a dexterity save from Eunice?
Oh shit. Zunis.
Eunice. Yeah, Zunis, sorry.
Yeah.
And Eunice.
All right, 1 second here. Dex save.
The facial hair.
Nat 20, baby.
Nat 20. So, Eunice, you're able to hold your ground, even though the ground moves under that structure. You are able to hold your own and not fall as this thing rips through the earth, leaving a kind of chunk of ground underneath it. But unfortunately, it's lurching forward towards your party so quickly that they're surprised. What this happens indeed, this is a surprise round, meaning that the Scorpion is going to get to go. Zunis is going to get to go in order. No one else gets to go this first round but Zunis and the Scorpion. So it would have been Zior, then the guards, then Yagos, and then Zunis is after the Scorpion is higher. So the Scorpion goes charging forward, and actually, technically, because you're within range of it, the Scorpion is going to move away from you, so you can take your opportunity of attack. It's not even really paying attention to you. So this doesn't count as this just counts as one shot that you get.
Well, I'm still got the high ground, so I'm gonna use my my longbow here for my trident. Yeah. 26.
26. It's gonna hit.
I'm gonna use one of my new maneuvers, precision attack. I'll add this to my weapon.
All right. How much damage did you do?
Plus a 1d8. Hold on, that's 7 plus.
Your mustache was free floating for a little bit.
That man's mustache alone.
It was just dangling for a hot second there.
Shit. That's a 9 total damage.
9 total. So I don't think it's it doesn't have any kind of. You can tell that it doesn't have any resistance, because you can tell that when you fire it, that arrow just punches right through the carcass, right on the top of it, and some little like green Icarus blood splashes out. Not a whole lot, but just to know that your arrow stuck in there. As it's like crawling really quickly as it skitters across the field, you land it, but it doesn't even flinch. It takes that 9. So you could tell it's not like, it didn't scream in pain. It just kind of shuddered for a second, kept going. But what you did notice is that on the move, doing that, you kind of caught it. So its tail whipped around and struck at you to try to knock you off the
pillar.
Yeah, off the pillar. Rolling 9. Does that hit? That, of course, that doesn't hit you, right?
That does not hit me.
So it just goes like strikes twice, really hard, but right in the where it would have been your body, it misses. It goes low and it strikes the pillar, and bow bow. And as it jams inward and pulls out, you see a bunch of debris fly out of it, and you realize like that thing strikes. Like you can see it's left like pock marks in, and it continues skittering on. When it gets over here, it rolls a 23 to the guard that was on the ground. Didn't even have to, just it was a really high number. Biting down on him with a claw, and then rolls a 19, swinging the other claw towards Torin. Torin, is 19 hit you?
19.
Is that your armor class?
Man. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
My armor class is 18.
Okay, so it gets you. So it's going for a grab on the guy on the ground. So he's immediately grappled, and he's like trying to escape, and he takes the guy on the ground just starts coughing and bleeding out as the pincers. Oh, Thanos is like, God, help him, help. They're like screaming going on. That guard does not look good. For you, the damage with the claw, you'll take, Torin, doing a lot better. You only take 4 damage as you're able to brace yourself for the lock and hold off of those pincers as they're like pushing in on you. But you are considered grappled, and so you will have to you'll have to try to break free either with you can try to break free with a dexterity check or a strength check on your next turn. The creature's done, and as it's fighting, it now moves to, so now we go to the top of the second round. So now we're in the order that we would have been. That was the first round on surprise. Zior, you are up. You're right here. You're kind of sitting on you come into view.
So where am I in relation to everyone else?
Look at your screen. You should be able to see yourself.
Cool.
Look at your pin. You
All
see.
Right,
so in terms. Okay, sorry to get you better. So here you can see there's 2 guards right behind you, right? Okay, yeah, I should make this clear because this is Thanos. He's got the big. They were in the blue from Melitus, but he's got the big cape, right? He's the hero of the group. Gotcha. The other guys are just 2 regulars back right behind here who were sitting down having their evening grub or about to get settled in. You're right there. Yagos is right there. I don't know if you see that, Ragos, the camera that I'm moving. And then right now, this Torin, unfortunately, is always good. Torin is in the claws, and so is the other guy at the moment. And then our boy Eddie is up on the pillar over there, Zunis.
Okay, so that was Eddie. I didn't realize that, and I was going to ask like who that was up there. And Okay.
All right. So I am going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
And basically, this is a veil of shadows and silence radiates from me, masking you and your companion from detection. So for the duration, which is up to each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including myself, has a +10 bonus to dexterity / stealth check and can be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of his passage.
Who are you giving this
to everyone in my party within 30 feet of me.
Got it. So everyone gets passed without a trace.
Correct.
Okay. And so can you go over the benefits one more time with me? I'm sorry.
The benefit is you get a +10 bonus to dexterity and stealth.
Okay. Now,
And
dexterity.
can't
Now,
be-
dexterity saves is one thing, or dexterity checks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you, pass without a trace may not help anyone that much here because it's not dex saves, it's dex checks, and it's only it's plus 10 against stealth. The thing sees everybody. Like this would have helped if you were trying to sneak by it or go
Okay,
through
well,
a
in that
land
case-
was extremely dangerous. Yeah.
Bump
So
that.
yeah, unless you want to do something else.
Yeah, I'm pulling out the bow and I'm firing off a shot.
Okay. Do you have Shillelagh?
Shillelagh?
Shillelagh is an important druid. It's one where you basically turn your wooden staff into a more powerful magic. It turns your staff into a powerful magic weapon. You should have. You probably don't have it prepared, but I'm gonna have to talk. You need to. So this week, everybody, I'll send everybody out, and we should start using our Discord channel too. Just there's some really quick 5-minute videos on how to use your class to its optimum, and it will help you. So yeah, so you shooting a bow?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the bow.
Okay, go for it.
Give me a sec. 19.
19. That hits.
Nice.
And so Torin is like in his jaws as he notices he can see the thing like this giant, like you've never seen a scorpion on the ground, but this thing has huge teeth, you know, in its maw.
So I roll.
Oh, I can see the teeth.
5 damage.
5 damage, it takes it. And while it doesn't seem very phased, you two see it. Your arrow flies through and strikes true right into one of the claws. That's the claw that's holding Torin, and little black, green ichor spews out, but the thing just keeps moving. As though you're just pricking it, it's after Zior guard. So you can tell me what you want to do with your guards. I can give you guys the stats in the next game for any of these guys that survive, but they're simple enough to where I can tell you what they can do. They essentially all have spears. One guard is already, so only one guard can try to escape his grapple this turn. The other 2 guards are right here. If you guys are looking right back here. So they could probably reach the creature, and they're going to get a +3 to their bonus. So if you roll for them, they get a +3, and if they hit, they can do a 1d6 +1.
Okay, and they only have 1 spear, no other
weapon.
No other range.
I can imagine they all have a short sword too, but they don't have ranged weapons.
Hmm.
You know what? Like they probably would have loaded themselves out with. So I'll say that. I'm gonna make a roll for it. Give me a D4 roll. So 2 of them have ranged weapons. One of the guy with the green cape has a short bow, and the guy who's in the claw who just lost his on the ground. So, and I'll treat him the same way. Short bow is a D6 anyway, so you can use the spear just as a ranged weapon. And you can use the spear anyway, so we'll just treat it as he has a bow. He has a bow and arrow as well. So you're fine.
And how about Othanos? What does he have? Does he have
Thanos is loaded out
anything
sword.
ranged?
Sword. He's not a ranged guy, so I think he would just have like a really good spear. Actually, let me check. Let me check what he's loaded out with. But he's not a guard,
Because
so
we
he
do
can't
want to
go
keep
right. It's
him
not
alive.
his turn. So he has his shield, his spear. Yeah, shield and spear for him too.
Okay.
So he's considered a hoplite, so he's a different guy. So right now you can only use these 3 guys, your regular guys.
Okay. No, that's cool. I just wanted to see what he had because honestly, we made him a promise, and I don't want him to die.
Yep. Yeah, y'all asked him for this. Y'all bring him all the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What you want to do with him? Act quick. I'm gonna make these rounds quick. So
he's got a sword. Does he have any ranged weapons?
think of these guys. Think of like Greek mythology, right? All these guys are essentially just guys with breastplates on, some sandals, some shin guards. They got capes and helmets, and 2 of them got bows and arrows. One guy right here got a bow. The other guy can't do anything with his. So this guy could take a shot. This guy would probably rush in. Naturally, he would probably rush in and try to help his brethren, unless Thanos called him to do something else. I'll allow you guys to be the voice of reason for that in this particular situation.
So what I'm thinking.
Okay,
Go ahead, Torrin. Go for it, bro.
No, Terry, go ahead, man.
I'm
thinking
maybe,
my thought is to keep it ranged, but go ahead.
Yeah, or either keep him at range
throw the spear, and then they all have a short sword too, so they can throw the spear and then go for their short sword, which is a D6 damage as well. It's all D6 damages that they do.
Yeah, I'm thinking range for Thanos.
Yeah.
Oh, Thanos is not going right now. It's not his turn. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So sorry. Yeah. So it's just the
So
guard's
I would say what I would say is like let's aim at the claws. You know what I mean? Because I would want to release the other soldier that has ranged weaponry. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe one of the soldiers can toss a spear to one claw. You know what I'm saying? And then the other one, could do the same for me. Did we?
Y'all have 10 seconds to make these guards react or they lose their turn. 10.
All right. So, so first guard
fucking attack.
Throws a spear.
All right. Go ahead and give me a D20 plus 3.
All right.
Y'all overthinking it. Y'all gotta fight.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm doing that not because I'm frustrated. I'm actually trying to increase the tension of the situation.
Yeah.
No, man, you're doing good.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so he lets loose the first guy. Lets loose the short bow. It sails far over the scorpion's tail. You actually see the tail knock it out of the sky, and it goes flying by Zunus's face, like almost takes Zunus's eye out, which probably wouldn't happen in real life, of course, because the arrow didn't continue straight, but it does for some strange reason, cinematically. As that's happening, camera swoops over this guy's shot. This guy he's kind of looking. Does he throw his spear or does he rush in and attack?
He throws his spear.
Throws it. So he steps up a bit, trying to aim it. D20 plus 3, aiming for one of the creature's face or its eyes or one of the claws. Something he can do to help his friends.
Somebody else roll it.
D20 plus 3.
Okay.
Somebody.
I got it.
Actually, yeah, man. Zunus, get it.
That's a 9.
It hits the carapace on the front of this. It goes ding, and it just bounces off, and you watch his spear somewhere land over there. He's like, "Fuck!" And he shit. He pulls his, and you can tell at this point because of his brethren, he's going in on like next time he gets a chance to attack, he's probably going to have to test if you don't want him to go rushing forward. He rushes to, unless you want to move him somewhere else, I'd imagine he rushes to Thanos' aid, like rushes in front of Thanos, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yagos, you are up. You're right here. You're watching your buddy torn in one arm and the other guard in the other. Oh, can I get a for the guard who's stuck in the claws? I need a either strength or dexterity save, and guards only have I can tell you either one of them. Dexterity is +1 and strength is +1, so it's either. I saw Torin rolled. It's a 5. He's stuck. It's like he can't get out.
Damn, bruh.
Yagos, you're up.
We are majorly fucking this up.
Come on, Yagos.
I shouldn't have rolled. I shouldn't have done it. I've had terrible rolls the entire game.
Yeah, put that hoof in his face.
Yagos, you're right here.
That Scorpion's so tight looking though, I will say. Like I hate to be struggling with this thing as much as we are, but that thing looks badass.
Yeah.
15.
So what are you hitting it with? I didn't hear you declare. So you got to declare what you're doing before you roll, so I know what's happening. What are we doing?
Gotcha. I'm swinging at it with my flail.
Flail. Okay, so you're rushing in close combat, getting in close there. All right. Anything within 5 feet will be able to hit it. Yep. So what you get? You said 15. I think 15 does actually strike. So now you all know 15 just hits it. So whenever a just hit happens, that's when I let everybody. That is the armor class. So 15 or higher will hit the creature from now on out. So you see as he's swinging that flail, the creature tries to move, he just hits it, wham, right across the front area, chipping a piece off. Give me the damage.
Ten.
10 damage. All right, and that's your
D8 plus
D8 is a
3.
flail plus 3. Yep, nice. You rolled an 8. Oh no, a 7. 10. Take it. So that blow kind of like rocks the side of this scorpion, and you see it kind of stagger a bit, and the teeth kind of like just kind of chomp for a second, a couple times. As you can see, you put a scar, like a crack in his front, like angular shell, and you can see the two little beady. It almost like it has two nostrils above the front area. They hiss out a bit of like hiss. A bit of like smoke. But on the sides, there are two little, eyes staring at you. Yagos, is there anything else you could do bonus action wise, or are you done?
No, because I didn't charge him, so no.
Okay. So then, as Yagos finishes that, it is the scorpion's turn.
Shit.
Swinging at Yagos with one claw.
Is he swinging with the claws? That means one of us is free.
No, you're trapped. He swings with the backhand of the claw, keeping you locked while swinging. He's not trying to grab you, he's just swinging. That's a 21 on Yagos.
Clever scorpion.
Yeah.
That's a clever girl.
Yagos, you will take. Clear this, I can't. From the claw strike, you'll take 7 damage and be thrown 9 feet, so 10 feet away. So Yagos goes prone and gets jettisoned away. And as it swings the arm for Yagos, it lets the other guy go, the guard inside the claw, and he flies 15 feet. And he falls 10 of those, taking 2d10 damage. Not d10, so 2d6 damage from the falling damage. He takes 10 and he is out. He looks everything but dead. Like he hits his head on a rock, like, and he's just down. Now I will treat guards like characters, meaning that they there's an opportunity for not really death saves as much as it's a chance to kill them before they like die off.
Am I still within 5 feet of him?
No, not anymore. You're down. You got thrown 9 feet and went prone. The other guard is thrown and he is knocked out. Torin is being held as the other claw, as the creature moves in a bit and swings at Zior, like clambering through. And it swings this thing so hard, it's about to tear this pillar down. Zior, the strike is mine. I'm rolling crazy tonight. 23. This thing does not have a high attack. I'm just rolling crazy numbers. I'm rolling crazy numbers. It's not like it has a plus 10 to strike. It's like
come on, man.
Zior will take 6 damage and be thrown 7 feet. So he goes back 5 feet away from it. It hits it crumples the section here and tears the whole pillar, shatters, throws it out of its way. And when it swings it doesn't let go of Torin. So when it doesn't let go, I need to
course it doesn't.
You'll take 1 extra damage as you feel it squeezing down on you from that strike.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
You got
Hey
it.
Mal, question for you. How far did I get thrown again?
7 feet.
Okay.
So just like you were next to it, you're just like 5 feet away. You're really just like right there.
Okay.
And then and then it will strike it has reach, so anyone within 5 feet, it can go up to 10 feet. It's gonna Scorpion Tail is gonna strike down on the guard right in front of there for the stinger. The big grand. That guy gets hit for 13, which I actually don't think hits a guard because I think they have an AC of 16. So his shield comes out and this thing goes boom and like almost buckles his shield. You see a huge dip go in it, but he is alive.
Wow.
That stinger,
we've
if you
had
would have
so
hit him
far.
with the poison. As we move from the Scorpion, just kind of clattering around, it actually it's gonna move, and so when it moves, it threatens. So you can take opportunity attacks if you're there, but everyone else is down. So it tries to trample through. It kind of like goes through to this side. It's gonna move up to the top of this ridge here, trying to trample Othin. Actually, no, it won't. So the way it works is if it moves at you, if you're next to it, you can just move. You can take an opportunity of attack, or you just choose to let it leave because otherwise you threaten to get trampled. So it doesn't attack anyone doing that. So it just repositions itself, taking Torin, the only one with him, up to this ridge and creating a more defensive stance. We then move to Torin.
Wow. Okay. So I have to do you said a dexterity save or something else?
Or a strength, whichever one kind of gets you out of there. It's a very set number. I don't roll it. I know what you need to beat to get out of that.
But it is a saving throw, or is it
Saving throw.
like a check?
You can do it strength,
Okay.
like strength, athletics, or a strength or dexterity or acrobatics.
Okay.
Not acrobatics because it's dex save. So a save or a strength
sweet
save.
Jesus. I just
What'd you get? Was
I
that
rolled
an
an 8.
So Torin is struggling.
Man alive.
And Torin, can I get a wisdom save?
A wisdom save. Yep. 6.
So for a second, Torin, you black out, and you just see a man on a rowboat rowing towards you, with like the sunset behind him. And then he reaches his hand out and goes, "You seek the underworld." And then as his hand is about to touch your face, you wake back up and you're being ragdolled back and forth by this.
Bruh.
Damn. I don't want
Get
the
out
god
of
of
there,
death
Tori.
on me. I know, man. I know. So do I still get an action, or am I still
if you get a bonus
mercy?
action like healing word, anything that you can emote or do with your hand signs, you can do any of that, but you lose your major action trying to get out.
Yeah,
Can't move,
that's
you're
fair.
restrained. So you can any speaking or somatic, I would allow any spells or bonus action spells like that you could do, but if it requires ranged action, you can't do that.
Yeah, what I want to do here, there was where's my actions? Bear with me a second here. There was like a growl, like a roar that I could do that might
Can you do that?
might help us all.
Like a
I
little
just
intimidation
I can't find it again.
for Leonin.
Where is it?
I think it's
Yeah,
just intimidation, I think. Here, let me see.
Divine sense, lay on hands, unarmed strike, daunting roar.
There
we
you go.
So I'm going to use daunting roar. That's a DC 12.
Okay.
So I'm going to roar. I'm going to roar. Let's see what happens here. Please give me something good. Okay, so I rolled 9.
Okay.
Had
What is
12.
it? Is it against something? What does it do? How does it work? What do I need to roll? Do I need to roll
So
to beat that?
I don't think you have
so
to roll
basically-
anything, Torn.
Yeah, I think I need to save.
Don't
I think
I?
it's a save that I need to beat.
Yeah, he just needs to make a save of 12 or higher.
Oh no, is it
Oh,
wisdom? Is
okay.
it charisma?
It's a
Usually
wisdom save.
It's usually wisdom.
Yeah, it's a wisdom. Yeah,
Okay, let me go to my.
it's a wisdom saving throw. Yep. Okay.
And it's minus to that. I'll tell you that. So it's not a good. It rolled a 10.
Nice.
So that's a fail, right? So what does it do if it works?
So they
Okay,
become
so as a
frightened.
bonus action, you must succeed on or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. So it's now become frightened of me.
Okay. So frightened of you. I like that. So as you roar, this thing kind of like skitters away and drops, just like lets go, and you tumble off the dirt, falling down 10 feet. So 1d6. But here's what I'll do, because it lets you go. Give me a dex save, and what I needed is not a strength save. I need a dex, like being a cat. Like, do you tumble to your feet? If you tumble to your feet, you will not take the falling damage at all. And it's going to be a DC
So 15.
12. 15? You're okay. So you land.
Yeah.
And not only that,
I
but
mean,
you
I
land
did
on your
dex
feet.
save.
Yep, you land on your feet. So you're now right there in front of the thing, roar, and it starts to kind of like skitter back away from you. All right. We move from. I also put the order in the chat now, so we move from Yagos to Scorpion to Torin. Zunis, you're up. You're over there on the.
Oof. All right. I'm gonna make a couple attacks here. My longbow, still, it's a good shot for me. First attack is a 16.
I will hit. It's 15. Remember to hit it.
I will use a die for my precision strike. Come on. Nice.
We might get a
3
couple
plus,
shots at this board tonight.
that is a 12 damage.
12 damage. That's a healthy amount.
And I
of
will do
damage.
an action surge and try to strike again with my longbow.
All right.
I've planted my trident like onto the top of the pillar to
Yeah.
get better footing as I'm sending out another bow.
So
Yes.
when the first bow hits, it's
Yeah.
kind of a game changer because you slams into one of the creature's eye sockets right here on the side.
Nice.
And you see a bunch of ichor come out, and it kind of starts squealing, slamming. Oh, its scorpion tail striking out randomly, slamming into the rocks, debris flying up all around. Second shot.
Second shot, that is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
And then damage is 8. 5 plus 3.
8.
Solid.
So
Very solid.
another you hit almost like when you split an arrow, you hit the same spot again, splitting the arrow down.
Nice.
So now it's got a piece, like the splinters of the first arrow and the second arrow in the eye socket, and it is wildly screaming and whipping its tail back and forth, swinging its claws.
Let's go! Finish it!
Thanos is the actually I never had him, because he was surprised the first round, so this is his turn. So so he is standing close by. He can attack. He can make 3. No, sorry, hold on, let me make sure his attacks. So he can make a spear attack, 2 spears. Oh wow, they're pretty strong. He can make 3 weapon attacks. And he can replace 1 weapon attack with the spell Ray of Frost.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Fucking cross this shit.
So he has spear attack, he has shield bash, or he has Ray of Frost. Shield bash is essentially when you hit an opponent, and then once you hit them, they make a test to be knocked prone. And then spear is a regular strike. And then Ray of Frost is a cantrip that he can cast out, but he can only replace 1 of the attacks with Ray of Frost. So how do you guys want to do it? pretty nasty.
Let's replace one of the attacks with Ray of Frost.
So
Let's see if we can bash it.
So what you see is that when he throws out his spear, a trick you never saw up his sleeve, he channels like a blast that flies out of the spear itself. And what you realize is the spear, he hits a button and it kind of locks into place, and it's the ingenuity of the people of Meletis, right? Like the type of arcanic things that they use are on another level. And so you have a 60-foot range. Give me a +5 to your D20 attack.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes. That is a 21.
Anything 15 or more is hit him. So it's going to do 1d8 cold damage.
Yes, that's a 7.
As the cold rushes through the creature, it staggers. It looks punch drunk on his feet, like any second it could go down. Do you want him to rush in, throw the spear, going for the shield bash, and then take the other attack, or throw this? What do you want him to do?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have him go with this shield.
He rushes in, running up to the creature, using everything he's got to just get right there. Give me the shield bash. It's a +5 to attack.
That's the 15, baby.
Just hits, boom, as when he like slams it, like it swings a claw, he goes under, shield comes out, hitting the thing right across the teeth. And as it does, give me a D4 +3 for damage, and it makes a strength save of 13. It needs to hit a 13. The creature
D4
rolls.
+3,
Much
that's
damage?
a 5.
All right, 5.
Shit. Oh, that was
It's
such a good
looking,
song.
it's holding on. It staggers
Does
back.
it get knocked? Does
And
it get knocked?
slams over on its side, and it's
Yes.
squealing, it's kicking. He's now standing right under the belly with when he opens the shield, his spear is there. He's got
Spear's
one
ready.
more strike. He gets
Here we
advantage
go.
because it's prone.
All right,
Nice.
come on, speared up. That 17.
That's
It
it.
is. Give me D6,
And one
D6 +3.
Oh, yeah. 7.
How does Othanos finish
Wow.
the creature for you all?
No way.
Oh,
We're gonna owe him a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
Save the day.
He like slow motion as his shield is coming up, and he's already got his arm. So he just directly in the center of the belly as it just punctures just like butter, just goes straight through. Goes through the opposite side.
And
And
it's just that perfect form as you see him
Yeah.
struck out, and then he, as he pulls it out, the creature goes skittering. He's dodging the legs flailing. He turns around and just stands before you all, like looking, and as it stops, it dies behind him. Okay,
Nice.
I see why you hired me. And he's-
yeah, fucking ridiculous, dude.
Duh.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Bro, you got
Never-
3 actions. What you talking about?
What a fucking champ.
What a champion, man.
That's awesome.
Thanos.
His
Jesus.
cloak is like billowing in the.
He slowly steps down,
Perfect.
like Spartan style. His cloak is kind of like, all goes back to, and he looks over. Oh. David, he runs over to one of his guards. I'm gonna roll random to see if this guard is still savable. If he's savable, he gets over. You see him closing his eyes and going in his purse and pulling out like two like bronze or copper pieces and putting them over his eyes. Well, and you can tell he's the kind of guy that makes light. He totally is. You can tell that he's hurt by this, but it's not like the joke. So the joke doesn't land wrong. It's just these are the kind. They're sailors. Like their life is dangerous, right? So he kind of just looks up with a smirk in his eye, but with tears in his eyes, and goes, "Hoping those season tickets are worth it."
Oh shit!
Zunis at that time
Oh
has hopped
no!
down from the pillar and just doesn't say anything. He just kind of puts his hand on his shoulder and kind of nods.
And as we start to, he's like, he seems to be frustrated with himself as the moments go by. I don't know what you guys are all doing, but you tell Thanos is spending time. And he goes, this place is... He's not talking to you all. It's almost like he's cursing under his breath. This place has always been safe. What went wrong? What happened? Shit. Sits down, kind of by himself. And this is kind of the moment where we'll start kind of closing out tonight's session. The sun has now gone down. The Nyx is fully out, as that sky behind that we see on the board is now, really transformed into one of the starry night sky. If you guys eat or consume scorpion, I mean, Thanos does say we could use parts of the meat, and he starts to
I'm not gonna lie, that was gonna actually be my first suggestion. Probably tastes like lobster.
Yep. Can I get a nature or a survival check from everyone?
Yeah.
It's a 9.
Okay. Man alive, I'm just rolling terrible.
18.
So Azior, you being of the earth and being the druid, you spend some time looking over the stinger of the scorpion tail, and you're able to tear it off and drain some of the poison into a small vial. You have a small vial of poison to be used however you wish. Also, you also realize you could scavenge this creature for other parts, but that would be up to you guys' creativity if that's something you even care or want to do. But otherwise, it's just a big giant dead scorpion.
What would we have to do to scavenge it?
I mean, like if you were to part an animal out, what would you look for? Like for example, if you killed a dragon, what stuff would you keep? What would you keep? Anything to sell?
Scales.
I would like to keep like whatever the hardest shell, the hardest part of the shell, maybe to make a enhanced shield of some sort.
Okay, that's something that you would have to. So you end up carving away, taking. So note that you have a carapace, like a piece of probably about the size of a shield. Whether you work on that yourself over time or you end up taking it to a forge master who could turn it into something truly special is what only time will tell. And can I have since you said it, Yagos, can I get a survival check from you?
You got a natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a natural 20. Oh, then you can also take the stinger and probably make some kind of spear or weapon that can be held, like kind of like a knuckle. You can take it and turn it into something like that. But
okay,
yeah. Now a lot of the stuff isn't going to be guaranteed. It's not like next game I'm gonna let you roll a dice and it magically appears. It might be something you continue to. You would have to remind me that you're working on it, or that you have to remind me when you go to a city that you are looking for someone to work on it for you. Right? You're more likely to get a better product or possibly even a magical product if you have a forge master work on it. You're likely to get some kind of jerry-rigged weapon if you do something with it yourself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I say we strip this thing down of all its scales on the top. Like the top of the carapace.
Yeah.
Like let's just take all of the scales. Maybe let's take like one of the claws if it's not.
Now, I don't think you guys can
over-encumber us.
you guys don't have horses, and Yagos is the closest thing to one that could carry extra weight. So I also don't think that you're not gonna take all of the stuff. You know, like so it's like what bits. Like if you take a claw, you gotta think the claw you would be carrying. That claw would be on somebody's backpack, weighing them down. You know. Now I guess when it's empty, it might be lighter, but then it also might not be that useful. I think the claws might not be as useful as the stinger, and a few pieces of scale to take.
Yeah,
I think basically what I'm saying is I think I've given you everything that's worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, we processed it for like sustenance, right?
You ate some, you're eating some, you're cooking it right now. Yep.
Cool.
Like lobster, you're not going to be able to turn it into dried rations. It's not going to be good 3 days from now, so you can eat what you can and call it a day.
Sounds good.
Have a feast in honor of the fallen.
And so as they sit around the fire that night having that feast, a couple of the Militian guys, oh man, David was fucking cool. And I know I haven't given these other two guys names. I'll have their names next episode.
Bob and Tom.
Yeah, Bob and Tom are really upset right now. But they go where Thanos goes, and they cheers to David. To hoping we all stay out of the clutches of Erebos. We all stay out of the clutches of Erebos. Well, Thanos says, "I'll drink to that." These guys are already getting us into trouble.
Here. Sure.
Do you guys share anything? Do you guys say anything here? Is under this flickering of the fire, under the night sky?
Zior looks at Othanos and says, I know that that you just suffered a big loss, and that you feel responsible for that soldier's life. But this is exactly why we wanted you to be a part of this mission with us. And thank you for being willing to take a risk and step out on a limb and embark on this journey with us.
Well said.
And
Well said. Thank you for being. We'll see this through, and I'm sure my time on the seas won't be any less dangerous. You were saying, Zunis?
No, Zunis just as he was kind of looking at one of the teeth of the scorpion, kind of puts it in his coat. He kind of walks up to Thanos and here's to the scorpion piercer, Thanos. I raise my glass and
just a regular Joe Schmo, but thanks. Well, I think we can get to this place 2 days in one more day, and kind of would probably just end on you all kind of cheersing and kind of sharing that moment and looking around. And that would end tonight's session.
Sweet.
Nice.
Awesome.
man, he's about to ride off into the freaking moon with that crescendo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's just like,
got the moon.
no big deal.
Right
He's just like,
So, in our post-credit scene,
Go EG style.
in our post-credit scene, somewhere, we don't know where, a dark humanoid figure, just a regular figure, walks, kind of frustrated with himself, completely cloaked. We don't see his face. He seems to just kind of grumble, and he holds a dagger in one hand, a bloody dagger, and in the other hand, he's clenching his fist, his tightly wrapped fist, that like the cloth is soaked in blood. And as he walks through under the moonlight, the blood is splattering on the ground. And as it's splattering, leaving behind little trails, little scorpions are springing out of the ground. Crash to black.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Wow. Get that. Scorpion blood.
Yeah, almost
I'm
like
gonna kill that
somebody
guy.
used that blood to create that giant scorpion that you guys just fought.
I got to die.
So yeah, you guys have enemies.
Holy shit balls.
Yeah.
Fucking Thanos just.
I don't like that. Yeah, Thanos.
I feel for Torin. You're
Thanos
like
is my new best friend.
every game I'm trying to like don't kill Torin, but like for some reason you're always like in the jaws of something, in the clutches of. Oh man, we gotta try. That's what I was like. I was like, Erebos is just reaching out for Torin, like, please come to the underworld. Like,
I know.
Come.
I know. Every game I do something stupid and just brings me to like the brink of death.
Oh man,
Terrible.
you guys are get stronger, but yeah, that was good stuff. You guys made short work of it. It had about 57 hit points on that scorpion, but it was pretty badass. I'm surprised nobody got hit by the stinger, because the stinger was the
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the stinger was gonna be trouble. That was
stinger
gonna be
was
trouble.
gonna
I was
mess
worried.
somebody up. Yeah, I was.
That was gonna be major trouble.
The stinger would have done, I think, what was it, 4d10 damage. So after it hits for the 1d10 plus 2, that's the sting, 1d10 plus 2. Then it would have done 4d10 poison damage on top. So you're for you guys,
Dear
it would be
Lord.
Yeah.
Dead.
You'd have
That's
been
perfect.
Yeah, that would have been immediate death. Immediate death.
He's
Like,
just "Ah!"
ball game.
Bye bye.
Go ahead and create a new character.
And I
It's
always
cool.
swung it. I literally swung it at Zunis that one time. I was like, "Oh my god, if this hits, it's gonna be bad." And then it struck really
God.
low and hit the wall.
Okay. I get poisoned, then I fall down, bludgeoning damage.
His
It's like,
his
fuck.
gills go.
Yeah.
Poison starts flying out of his gill. It would be the most disgusting death
It
ever.
would be
They
the
start
worst.
going
way
like this. They're like,
Oh
oh man.
Well,
I'm sorry, y'all. I would stick around, chat, but I gotta
no,
work tomorrow.
good game. I know,
All
man.
right,
Get
Yeah.
it.
Oh man. Good
I
luck.
miss these. We need to do
Good
these more
stuff, guys.
often. Hopefully, we'll get one in a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Can we get one in before the end of this month? Like, cause this was really supposed to be our June one, right?
Yeah, because we didn't get one in June, right? So
So maybe towards the end of
towards the end of the month, I
maybe?
think we can get one in. Yeah. Trying to get you guys back in there. I'm
Right.
down. Maybe that last week. The next couple weeks about to get really. I got some busy games coming up. Like tomorrow, I'm playing. I have a game tomorrow night, and I have a game Sunday morning. So, and then I had to move a couple games for next week because it's Jennifer's birthday. So I think I can find a spot for us towards the end of July. Yeah.
So just a heads up, like we will be leaving, like I will be driving back to St. Louis with, my wife and my kids end of the month.
Okay.
But I'm more than down. Like I don't want
You know-
this to be like a stopper to anything.
Yeah.
So
We could do well.
maybe I can play D&D in the car.
I know
on the phone.
Eddie
like when
has
we're driving
literally
18
done
hours.
it. Eddie has literally been driving. Like, tell me what's happening. Like, remember that when he had to leave
Yeah.
early at one time?
I mean,
He's
yeah,
like,
no,
it's here.
schedule the game, and like I literally might be able to join maybe like on my phone or something. We can get Wi-Fi in the van. We can
Yeah.
order it, so maybe like I can even like log in on my laptop or something.
I had two
Winter-
random
winter-
encounters tonight, but I'm glad you guys chose. I'm glad you guys chose the high road because that's where the ruins were, and I wanted to use the ruins. So you guys chose the path there.
No, we chose Scorpion.
Yeah,
man, we chose
the badass Scorpion.
I'm starting to see how you work, man. Like you take like the obvious choice and like you make it terrible. You create some like giant creature.
Oh man, yeah.
Crazy.
Inspiration wise, this was completely directly ripped from. I always rip stuff directly from stuff and try to use it, but so that you guys can go watch the movies. Because the way I look at it is, if you ever go watch these movies, especially if you haven't, especially Terry, because Terry's behind on some, you'll have these aha moments because you'd be like, oh shit, Malcolm got this from this. There's so much shit that Terry doesn't watch, which is great because I could use it and be like, whoa. But like if you watch the movies I watch, you'd be like, I know exactly where he used this from. But this is from there's the old Clash of the Titans, the old 70s Clash of the Titans has a scorpion fight.
Oh,
this was the modern the 2000s. Scorpion. If you go back and watch that Scorpion
I
fight,
love that movie.
Yeah.
Used to watch all the time as a kid. Well, not a kid, but like a older person, like a tween.
Yep. They take a rest, and when they take a rest, they have just killed the Gorgon, the Medusa.
Yeah.
And they hang her head on a tree. And the villain shows up and he stabs the head. And her blood leaks out and hits the ground and makes giant scorpions, and then they attack them. So it was essentially that one. And then in the new one, the guy cuts his hand and turns them. They do it a little bit different, but it's the scorpion fight. Yep. Yeah.
That's tight, man. That is super tight. Oh man, I'm glad you actually explained that.
Yeah.
Now, I do remember that. That's right. The satyr guy, or the guy that was cursed, that's right. He stabs the bag. Yeah. Oh man, that's kick ass.
So it's such a kick ass movie. It's so good. So it's one I would recommend. The old original, I'd recommend watching over the new one. But
for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. 100%. I agree with that. It was better. It was better than the new one, a lot.
It's like the claymation scorpions, you could tell they stop motion animated them, but they're so kind of cool and creepy. Even though I kind of of course, when I play D&D, I kind of play it. I'm usually inspired by the old stuff, but describe it like the new stuff, because I feel like everybody's used to kind of the way things, where we all visualize everything kind of super fantastic, CGI, spectacular, whatever.
Yeah.
The old stuff is just kind of classic.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. Like the owl, that robotic owl, that they had, and I don't know.
So that owl, I just gave
the
Theros gave my group one. They're called the Bronze Bullies. One of a couple of them worship Perforos, and so they're up on a mountain. They're on the volcano right now, and Perforos gave them a. So they're in the Theros book. They're called Anvil Rot Raptors. They're like mechanical birds. But he gives them an owl version that is kind of infused with his old spirit. So they have the owl.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's super tight. So do we want to be the Pentecost? I don't know. I kind of dig that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about it.
I'm down. I'm down for the Pentecost.
What did he call?
No one's gonna know.
The Panthequaths. It's the combination of all of our scientific names for.
I can't even say that, but I'll try. It's like the Panthequaths. The Panthequaths.
Panthequaths. Yeah.
Also, Mal, I just sent you an email with some screenshot attachments.
Dude, thank you for getting some screenshots of that game, because I always want to get some cool screenshots, hopefully, or whatever. And it's always hard.
That was super tight, man. Like that scorpion, no joke, man. Jeez,
yeah,
that thing was badass. Seriously. I don't know how long it took to 3D print that and paint it. But
I printed that all today, and I painted it today before today's game.
Jeez, man.
all between. I printed half
no
of it
joke.
last night, half of it this morning. Threw it together, glued it real quick around 4, and then spray painted it black. And so she stabs the thing and then makes that's the little owl they have. I know it's probably super choppy what you guys are seeing, but the scorpions grow. And then,
no, it's all good. I remember this.
Yeah. And then they fight them.
I remember that weird satyr guy.
Yeah. Yeah, look at these. Fighting the scorpions.
Man, I love this movie. I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, that's one where, and then the updated version is this one right here. This is kind of like the new age scorpion fight, of course, which is all super
Yeah, but it's not nearly as
it's
cool
not
as that.
nearly as
I'm
good.
not gonna lie.
But I did take the big. So this is where I took the big scorpion, because like in this one, it's like this. Of course, it's like literally a giant scorpion. If I ever can skip this ad.
Yeah, I mean, like the design got better. You know what I mean? Like the creature design, but
that big ass thing, you know.
oh yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh man, yeah. That's super.
So that's what you guys were fighting tonight.
That's crazy.
I literally even use the same music. If you notice, that's the same music from the fight.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where I find, you know, sometimes this stuff. Yeah, you guys did better than they did, as you can see, but they're getting their ass handed to them.
That's pretty kick ass, man.
Yeah, he always gets slow. So yeah, I did. So I definitely retooled the creature and gave it the ability to. Because that one thing I did like when you watch the movies is that it could throw people, or it could grab people, and then it could fight while the person was being grappled. You know, instead of being like, I can't use this arm.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, I'm gonna fucking punch you with it.
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
No, I know you didn't. No.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like that you thought
I've been
it at all. I think it was actually a terrible idea. If you're open to feedback, I think that was a terrible thing. And,
so I've been
not
homebrewing
good
creatures
at all.
making them worse. One of my players, Renee, he plays Apodexis. He's a Leonin too. He's a Leonin Ranger. Hopefully, you guys will all meet each other one day. But like your characters, but Apodexis, they were fighting a Gorgon, and so what I don't like about D&D rules is once players know what they're fighting, they can really exploit it. So the Gorgon, when you fight a Medusa, if you avert your eyes, as long as you say I'm averting my eyes at the beginning of your turn, then you basically say I'm looking away. So if you look away, you just get disadvantage. You just get disadvantage on the attack. It's like, okay, that's fine. But like in the middle of a fight, there's got to be a chance that you look up, unless you're like blindfolded, right? So I was like, nope, I'm gonna make them they have to make like survival checks to like not look at her to get that, to keep that aversion going. And he failed one, and he looked, and then she does a check, and so you have to fail. You essentially have to fail twice. But when he failed twice, she petrified him. So he's stoned now. So because when you become petrified without a greater restoration spell, you're just stoned. So he's just like, the rest of the party's like, I don't know what we do, because they're in the middle of this dungeon and he's stoned. Like,
we gonna drag his heavy behind around.
So what they're thinking about doing is there's a forge nearby, and they're thinking about trying. There's a forge library, and they're thinking about trying to do some kind of ritual using the forge, because if you read, the anvil rots are the living, like they're not stone, but they're living metal. So they're thinking about converting him into an anvil rot like armor and bringing him back, but then he won't really be a true Leonin anymore. So they would forego.
That's actually kind of badass, though.
It's kind of badass.
That's like
but
a
I told
whole
him
level of cool.
If they try that, they may not ever be able to. He may not ever be able to go back to being a Leonin. He would have to be an anvil rot Leonin, So
I don't know. I would actually take that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his AC would be
tight.
like doesn't his AC go up pretty significantly?
Not significantly. It goes up a little bit, but not ridiculously. Like you'll be surprised, like, because you're technically considered like you're like soft living organic metal. You're like some people look at it like I like to think like more old school, like the Greek mythos, like what we just saw, that little clockwork owl. But then the way Theros describes it, they describe some of the anvil rot more like how we would know Colossus to be in X-Men, like that. The moving organic metal.
That's where I was thinking.
Yeah. So it's still soft enough
at.
sometimes where you can punch through or you can break a seam, So
Yeah.
But they don't have to sleep. They don't have to. They don't like. They can just. They can like power down, but always be awake. So they have some. They
always take first watch.
Yep, they always take first watch. Yeah. So these stories. It's really. Being the DM, I do have a little bit. I have the full candy, because like you get to see all of the stories happening and all. It's so cool to like. But the beginning, I'm uploading them. So if you guys watch them, so there are people that watch you guys games. So at least 2 players from from the Bronze Bulls watch your home games, and so they're all on YouTube, and I have them all in a playlist in order. So it's like you guys group. There's like 3 groups, so if you ever watch them, you can see where everybody's at.
Oh no.
Yeah, they get
Our
to see
group
how,
though
watching
is
how fucking ridiculous we are, how unorganized we are.